Go. Oh boy.
Wow.
What's happening? Oh no, is there an earthquake over there?
Yes, it's a earth-shattering. Let's move on.
Okay.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Hi everybody.
Natural disasters are not a good source of comedy currently.
No, they are not actually,
Because
because the whole world's on fire.
They're a little too real.
A little too on the nose.
Yeah.
But hey, welcome to DrawBomb. It's another week where we sit and draw for 2 hours and then say a bunch of goofy bullshit, and then occasionally folks in the chat will say some goofy bullshit, and we'll say goofy bullshit right back at them.
Yeah. It's just it's kind of like a council meeting of bullshit.
Yeah. A council meeting of the dummies.
Yeah. And since we do this usually whenever we get a new follower, I think we should announce the newest member.
Whoa!
Bell Rocket,
newest
thank you for
member
following.
of the DK crew. What were you saying?
Bell Rocket, just follow us.
Oh, yes.
Thank you for following. We appreciate it.
Bell Rocket 50. I say Bell Rocket to like the theme of the Choo Choo Rocket theme song.
Okay. Well, I don't know what that theme is, so.
It's catchy. I don't know the words to it at all, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's in English, but it's catchy. Trust me on that one. I do know one of the lyrics, which is "bow bow 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 bow," or something like that, which also kind of sounds like a Blue's Clues
I
song.
like that you say you know it and then follow it up with or something like that.
I think they go. "Bow, bow, bow." I might just be doing Blue's Clues. I don't know, man. I've watched a lot of both when I was drunk. Hey, gang! There's a paw print on my new shirt. God damn it, Blue! That's my another new shirt you've ruined. Fuck!
Bad boy! You spend this episode in your cage.
Yeah, get in there. That's when Steve got fired.
How old is the dog? Is he immortal?
First of all, it's a she.
My
Second
bad.
of all, I don't know if the dog
Why do these owners keep passing the dog along? You should be more
weird.
responsible with your pets.
Maybe it's not like the owners are passing along the dog, but since the dog solves mysteries, maybe it's just moving from precinct to precinct.
Maybe the dog owns them. Maybe it's like they're in a coma and this is like purgatory.
Oh no, maybe it's
They
like
have to solve simple puzzles with.
the dog is their totem for when they get incepted. But what have you been up to, my friend?
Boy, oh boy. What haven't I been up to?
Okay, what haven't you been up to? Start
A
from
lot.
the top. Oh, no.
Skiing. I haven't skied in this past week.
Oh man, I love
macrame. Haven't done any of that this past week.
That's a shame.
What else haven't I been doing? Bird watching. Haven't seen a bird in the past week.
That's weird because you do live in like an area where I would imagine you'd see the
True.
occasional bird.
I've seen birds, but not intentionally.
But you didn't watch them.
No, I look away. I avert my eyes out of respect.
Yeah, you weren't
You know?
going like, oh yeah, you filthy fucking pigeon. Yeah, you preen yourself. Oh, you dirty girl.
No, definitely not doing that.
Okay,
you
good.
know,
That'd
unless
be
goes
weird.
on. It'd be super weird. How about you?
Yeah.
What have you been up to this past week?
Oh gosh, a number of things. Nothing of the
wow.
things you just said. I mean, I did see the occasional bird, but I actually have some news I can tell you. I didn't tell you before the show because I wanted your
Oh, is this is exclusive?
genuine reaction. It's exclusive right here. I mean, I can't give too many details away because I don't want to jinx it, but
Oh, Snap.
I saw a call being put out for like writers for a thing, and they wanted 2 writing samples. So I spent the whole god ding dang day just writing out some fake articles that along the lines of what this website might want. And then I submitted them later on that day. It was a very emotionally and mentally draining process. I took a big nap afterwards, and I just heard back today, and I got the writing gig.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
Yes, indeed. I'm going to be writing for a website sometime soon.
That's sweet. Is it remote work?
Yeah, I don't have to go anywhere.
That's
like I
cool
can just
too.
like sit here, and
That's
it's not like very well paying, but like I've looked at like what they're sort of looking for, and it's nothing crazy intense. Like what I wrote for the writing samples was way more thoughtful and involved than I think like what they're actually like trying to put out there. But you know, it's like a couple bucks every once in a while, and you know, it's my name on a website as a writing credit, so I figure it's a good step in the right direction. For,
Congratulations.
anything. Thank you very much. I'll be happy to divulge more details when I don't have to worry about it just disappearing. Like it's one of those dreams that you woke up and you think you got this thing, and then like it turns out you didn't.
Oh, I thought you meant you'd disappear. Like if you say too much, a van pulls up and takes you.
Oh, that might happen too. I mean, that's happening all across the country anyway.
Right,
so who
right.
knows?
But, yeah. So.
But yeah, that's something potentially in the works that might be causing me a lot of anxiety and stress in the near future. So yeah.
Oh,
I'm very
sure
excited
it'll be
about
great.
it, though.
Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations, dude.
Thank you very much. I don't have any other details. I could give you guys the name of the website, but again, I don't want to jinx my chances.
Yeah, go
so
ahead.
I'll just wait till I.
Go ahead and hold on to that information.
Yeah.
And then, you know, let us know a little bit later down the road. But that's awesome.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'll be writing about like movies and TV, which I feel like is
even better.
Yeah, it's easy shit because I already pretty much
Stuff
watched
you're
movies and
a
TV.
fan of.
Yeah.
It's one thing
And I can, like-
be writing about stuff you don't care about.
Right? Jeez, I do a lot of that. Got my practice when I was in school, writing about a bunch of bullshit. But yeah, I'm pretty pumped, pretty nervous because I've never had like a creative job before. I'm basically going to be writing listicles, so I mean, like, you know, whatever.
BuzzFeed.
But what was that?
BuzzFeed.
Nah, it's not the website. It's similar.
He can't say that it's BuzzFeed, but BuzzFeed.
It's not BuzzFeed. I would be a lot more pumped because I think it would probably compensate a little more. But who knows? They might not. I don't know. I don't know anything about prices. The person gave me the price, and I was just like, yeah, sure, all right. So,
Well,
I'm mostly just happy to have the stuff to put on a resume.
yeah, for sure. I'm sure it'll be awesome. I'm happy for you. That's cool.
Thank you very much.
So, it's Labor Day.
Today Day is Labor Day.
Oh, that would have been a good title.
That's alright, we would have stolen it from Homestar Runner then, 'cause
Oh.
that's where I just got it from.
Gotcha. Yeah. Have you done any labor today?
Well, I did write down a bunch of potential article ideas for said website, so I actually spent a lot of today working very hard.
That counts. There you go.
Yeah. Although I'm supposed to take a break from labor on Labor Day. What the flim flam is going on here?
No, you're only supposed to take a break on the Sabbath, which is yesterday. So get back to work.
Damn. All right. Well, I guess I'll get back to plowing these fields. I don't
There you
know.
go. It's gonna be a cold winter.
It is going to be a cold winter, so they say.
Have they been saying that? That sucks.
I've heard that. Yeah. It's
Well,
been a very hot summer.
It's true.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the cold
It's
winters.
not fair that a hot summer equals a cold winter because both are bad.
I know,
Shouldn't,
yeah, it's like
the bad one make the other one easier, and instead of them
Can't we
both
get a
being terrible.
break, Mother
Yeah.
Nature?
No,
Criminy.
she's trying to kill us off, and I don't blame her.
Yeah.
You know,
A lot
it's an
of
abusive
jerks.
relationship, so
It certainly
She's
is,
trying to
yeah.
get out.
She's just like, okay, like if
Enough is enough.
if I unleash a pandemic, if I make wildfires spread across the country, make it a hot summer and a very
Hurricanes.
cold winter, hurricanes, earthquakes, lions, tigers, bears, oh shit. I
Maybe
feel like I
they'll
keep
get the
going on
hint.
these.
Maybe they'll get the hint and go to Mars.
Maybe they'll finally pick up the pace on that one. Where's Elon Musk at with his rackets? Am I right?
Who knows? Probably inventing something stupid and getting mad because no one gives a shit.
Yeah, probably like being a billionaire and then complaining at people on the internet, like.
We're not thinking he's
It's like-
as cool as he thinks he is.
Yeah.
Seems
Like
to be
what a
his shit.
pathetic existence. Seriously, like you have $1 billion that you got from like slaves in apartheid South Africa at an emerald mine, and like you spend your billions of dollars being mad at like people who can't even afford healthcare on the internet. Like, get over yourself.
2020, baby.
Yeah. Speaking of 2020, that's actually a terrible segue, but I saw this yesterday and it blew my mind. But okay, so did you see that somebody got a pregnancy test to run Doom?
I did. I saw it because you posted it.
I did, yeah, I did. But it's just hilarious because like I've seen it done on like a TI-89 calculator. I've seen it done on what was the other crazy thing I saw Doom get like run on? But it was something like I've seen it being like programmed onto like a Game Boy or whatever. But like the fact and like it looks terrible. You can barely tell that it's Doom.
Right,
and
but the
you
fact that
definitely
it's
not be able to
actually
play it.
running is impressive. I think that's the whole challenge, to see if you can even
Yeah,
get something to process it.
it's just crazy. Like I can't wait till my microwave can run Doom.
Probably could already.
Honestly, yeah, actually. Well, not my microwave. It's a pretty old one, but.
Oh, well.
And I act like it's my microwave. It's my parents'
Why
microwave.
would your parents
'cause
buy a microwave that couldn't run Doom? What's wrong with them?
They're just not interested in the sweet
I
graphics.
guess so.
Actually, speaking of Doom, they just updated Doom on Steam, which is kind of
What
hilarious.
does that mean?
Like, so normally when you play Doom on Steam, like I have all the old Dooms, like Doom Ultimate Doom, Final
Yeah,
Doom, Doom 2.
I do too, I believe.
So in order to play those, you'd have to run them on like what Steam does is it launches them in DOSBox, but it's also kind of frustrating because the first time you're running it, like the DOS, there's like a glitch. I don't know enough about any of it to like be able to describe what's actually happening. But basically, it used to be when you turned on Doom and it would start up DOSBox and start Doom, like the Doom would freak out and then all your colors would be all messed up, and then you would have to like figure out, you'd have to like do something and like the properties or install some sort of like
Could be some
thing.
adjustments in order.
He had to make some adjustments in order to get the Doom to actually run properly, and then it ran fine. And and it was Doom on DOS, so it works just like how it used to back in the olden days. So what they did was, so good.
I just like that you call it the Doom.
The
In order to
Doom.
get the Doom to operate.
In order to get the Doom, not a Doom, but
Right.
the Doom.
Or just
Or just Doom. Yeah, you're right. I like to call it. I thought I was gonna come up with a great joke right before I had to say anything. I did not. Anyways, once they get the Doom running on your computer, what they then do is you just play Doom. So
Right.
what happened was they actually updated it on the 4th, where I'm not sure what it's running on now. It might be Unity or something like that. But they basically like Bethesda ported over all the original Doom games onto some modern engine, but like the same game or whatever. So you don't have to run it through DOSBox. You don't have to do any of that. And like a couple of extra enhancements, like you can download like custom map sets, and like for instance, John Romero on the 25th anniversary of Doom had released a new set of maps for Doom called Sigil. And like that's one of the, like you can click add-ons in the update of Doom, and like it'll download it for it automatically. You can load it up, and then you can just like play all these custom WADs. They call them WADs. I'm not sure what the WAD stands for, but
Wads of Doom.
you can download the custom WAPs, and you can you can play them in Doom without having to like do any extra stuff. So it's pretty cool. I played a little bit of Sigil, and it's fun. But it's just weird that like, it's over 25 years later, and like they updated
Now it's
Doom.
updates now. Yeah, it's pretty fun. And also, who got put on that job?
I know, right? Like, whoever was probably putting Doom on a pregnancy test, honestly.
We have an assignment for you. What's that? We need you to update Doom. Oh, yeah. You mean the one that just came out? No. Oh, you mean the one from 2016? No.
No.
The one that's like 30 years old. You do
The
that?
one from Doom 3? Keep going.
You're almost there.
I messed around with some of the settings in the new Doom. First of all, it's really weird. Okay, there's a couple changes I want to talk about in the new Doom, and
Let's
it's so
hear it.
weird. So first of all of the health packs now, so like in the original Doom, the health packs were like, a white looking med kit with a red cross on it. Except
Correct.
now, for some reason in the updated version, I'm pretty sure I saw like Civi 11 explain why this happened or something like that. But anyways, in the updated one, the crosses are now green, and I still haven't gotten over it.
Huh. Why?
Yeah, it's weird. I think it has something to do with the Red Cross, and like it's their, or it's like something like basically if you in real life have a med kit and it's got the Red Cross symbol on it, that means that it's like a certified medical equipment like med kit or something like that. So maybe it has something to do with that. I don't
Okay.
totally know.
But the game's old. Like, let's not go full George
Yeah.
Lucas on this shit. It's what it is. It's old.
Yeah.
After the 30-year mark, you don't go, well, we wanted to make the demons look scarier, so we redid their whole look. Like, it's like, no, just stick with how it looked before.
Yeah.
You had your chance to make design choices, and that's come and gone.
So that really threw me off when I first saw it, and I don't know why, but whatever. And like you can still run, like you can still like when you run the game, you can choose to have the DOS version of Doom launch up, so you can still go back to the OG if it really matters.
I guess that makes
But
it a little better.
Yeah, but they also like have it so like there's like a new, all of the old gameplay features are still there, but you can also like press E now, and then it'll bring up like this weird HUD of all the different weapons you have, so you can like visually select the weapon you're choosing, and the game defaults with having like this weird ugly yellow crosshair on the center of the screen, which I turned off right away. And then the weirdest thing is that you can choose to uncap the FPS, or you can choose like what you want the FPS to be capped at. So like I was curious, and I turned off capped FPS for Doom. And let me tell you what, I used to have night terrors as a child. What a game looks like running at the maximum possible frames per second, like no cap FPS.
It's your night terrors?
Like the speed and smoothness which with things like move about is reminiscent of like my when I was in like night terror brain mode as a child. It's very strange. It's a weird experience to see.
I'll have to try that out.
Yeah, go for it. And I mean, it won't give you night terrors. And it wasn't like the
We'll see
Doom
about
imagery
that.
that gave me night terrors. It was like the weird, smooth, super fast nature of, I don't know. But it's weird. It's just a very strange visual effect, and I don't like it. I might go back to a capped, because it's just weird to see Doom, not at a capped FPS. It's just, you wouldn't think it'd be a big deal, but it really just looks strange.
Yeah, I think it would. That makes sense. I mean, super fast frame rate for like a weird, like old 3D, somewhat 3D thing. I could see that being kind of off-putting, especially when you're used to something else. Like what it's supposed to look like.
There's a couple other, I played a lot of Doom, so that's why I know all these differences off the top of my head. But another weird thing about it is that, in DOS version of Doom, when enemies would move, they would there's these steps in distance that they would move. So they'd do the walking animation, then they'd slowly jank, in one direction or the other.
Okay.
But in this one, since it's in a new engine or whatever, they're more smoothly gliding across the 3D space instead of so there's these little visual differences that look not a big deal, and if it weren't the way it was before, I probably wouldn't even care, but it just looks very strange.
Fair.
But no complaints though. I mean, it still plays like Doom. It runs like Doom. Like I have a whole bunch of extra features now.
Yeah. I suppose it's not a bad thing,
So, yeah.
especially because you mentioned they leave the original options all there. So it's not like they're changing the game. They're just
Exactly.
adding some little bit more things. That's fine, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, all right then.
Yeah.
And that's.
I think they also added an extra difficulty mode. I haven't tried it out.
That's a good idea. And that's Doom Corner for this week.
That's Doom Corner.
Next week to hear more about Doom and Doom-related topics.
Tune in next week where we discuss the heated topic Doom Guy or Doom Girl. Which are you? Or I don't know.
Take the survey to find out what Doom character you are.
Are you Doom Guy, Doom Guy, Doom Guy, or Doom Guy? Player 4.
Zach says, it's like 4K with frame interpolation. It hurts your brain because it doesn't look real. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. It's just like it's like a weird it's unnatural to look at.
Yeah, well, I think the frame interpolation is actually not a feature in the new one, because frame interpolation is when like have you ever seen those like weird GIFs of like someone took sprites from like Street Fighter and then made the computer smooth out the in between frames, even though it's like pixelated?
I think I know what you're talking about. I want to say yes.
Well, regardless, that's the thing, and it looks so strange. But I didn't see any of that going on in it. Maybe it's an option I didn't turn on or something like that. But you know, it's strong.
Strong. It ain't
It's
right.
strong. It ain't right. You gotta shoot them demons.
That's right.
Them demons is the devil.
So I beat the newest Doom. I was
Nice. Recently?
a while back.
Okay.
I think I told you when I did, but
I believe so. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
enjoyed it, but then I was like, when it was over, I installed it. Now there's like DLC coming out, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna play it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I liked the last one a lot better.
I like Doom 20. We had a whole discussion, I
Yeah,
think,
we've
in a
talked
previous
about it on the show
episode.
before.
But I'd be interested in seeing the DLC.
Maybe I'll play
once,
it one day down the road. It's not gonna be like anytime soon.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool that they are. I mean, I'd be surprised if they didn't have DLC for it, but it's cool to get some.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Although
I'm not sad about more. I'm just like, I don't know. It was pretty good, but I didn't like it as much.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, did Doom 2016 never get DLC?
I don't think so. If it did, I didn't play it, and I need to.
Yeah. Weird. Oh well.
Oh,
I wonder if anyone actually ever like kept playing like the multiplayer in Doom 2016, because that shit did not strike me as very fun.
Oh yeah. I don't really.
Nah, I tried a little bit of it.
I tried it once or twice, but I don't remember anything about it. Maybe that says a lot about it. The fact that I don't remember it.
Maybe, yeah. I definitely never won a single match, and I always felt like. Well, also my computer could run Doom, like the newest Doom, Doom Eternal, like fine in single player mode, because if you like, my computer wasn't a beast anymore. Like it was de-beastified in the last few like years of game graphics. So like when I was playing Doom Eternal, like I could run it at a fine frame rate at like mostly top graphics. I couldn't do like the ray tracing or anything like that. But like also if I hit any hitches in the graphic settings, like the enemies would slow down with it. So that was fine. But then when I played multiplayer, sometimes my game would just start random, and this was maybe towards the end. Maybe this should have been like my first clue, but like the game would randomly start like lagging and stuff like that because it just couldn't handle the graphics. But the issue was like the enemies were still moving like at the same
you can't
speed.
slow down real people because of your lag.
Yeah, so I just ended up getting my ass kicked very unfairly a lot of times, and I was just kind of like, well, fuck this, man. Who knows? Maybe if my frame rate was more consistent.
I played a match of Doom Eternal multiplayer, and I won the first try, and then I just basically was like, all right, I'm done with that. That's just take that, drop the mic, walk away from that.
all done. I got my fill. It's like when I got that crown in Fall Guys, and then I stopped playing for like a week.
Yeah, you should play some more Fall Guys soon. If you're interested.
I'm reading the comments now. Apparently Andrew Hushall is doing the DLC music. Well, good for him.
I don't know who that is. Should I?
He does a lot of music for games lately.
Oh, cool.
He's like one of the big dudes in it.
Well, all right then.
I think he did like the
I heard
Rise of
that
the
he's doing
Triad
the
remake.
music for the Doom Eternal DLC.
Whoa! Where'd you hear that?
I don't know, just heard it recently.
A little birdie told you?
Yeah.
You told me you weren't bird watching.
Well, I didn't see him. I just heard his voice.
Okay, that's fair. He was just kind of singing up in the tree like, Andrew Hushalt doing the music.
Yeah, basically. That's how it went. Sure.
Oh, what a enchanted life you lead.
I do. I was cleaning and singing along with some woodland critters when a bird totally threw off my groove and gave me some exclusive information.
A little elk came up and like nibbled at an apple and then was like, hey, check it out, there's a blood swamp in the update for Doom Eternal. And you're just like, why are all these animals telling you like
do you guys
Doom news?
Do you guys play video games? What are
and then
those?
an alligator comes up.
Eats the deer.
An alligator comes up, eats the deer, and is like, you know, the new NVIDIA GeForce 3080 is going to be $600.
It's like I built my computer a year too early. Except the fact is, that's going to happen every year, forever.
It's going to happen every year,
So
yeah.
you can't beat yourself up for these things. Or at least that's what
right.
I tell myself so I can sleep at night.
Basically, as long as I can do ray tracing on my new graphics card whenever I get it, I'll be at least future-proofed for a little bit until they come out with, like, the next fantastical update in games where they're like, guess what? Now everyone has bones on the inside of their models, and you can't see them, but they're there. And it makes them move extra realistic, or whatever the hell they're going to do next step. It's crazy.
Bones. That's the next step. About
That's
time they
right.
add bones to games.
I know, right? Time we had some bones going on. Oh yeah, games are boning. Can't phone in the boning. Am I right? I love McConan.
Not sure if you're right or not.
I'm not. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Actually, bones were already a big update to video games way back in the day.
Them bones.
Them bones. Isn't that Alice in Chains?
I think so. How are the people in the chat doing today?
Tell us about your week.
Tell us about your
Whoa.
labor.
Yeah, tell us about your Labor Day. What did you not do?
Did you go into labor today?
If so, congratulations! Make sure you wipe off all the baby goo.
Bella Rocket says they worked. So there you go. In spirit of Labor Day. That was why they worked. They weren't going to, but they figured, you know, they like to get into holidays.
In the spirit of Labor Day, your job did the thing it was supposed to not do.
Is that the like the idea behind it? Is like,
yeah,
we're closed.
It's basically like
Thanks for
workers'
working hard
unions.
year round. You get a day off.
Yeah, it's like workers' unions were like, hey, we'd like to have weekends, and also we'd like to like not be exploited, and then they gave them like a holiday or something like that. Usually, it's in other countries, it's on May Day, I believe. Which is why it's like International Workers' Day, except we don't celebrate that here. I read something about like the reasons for it. I don't feel confident enough in my facts to go spouting off what I read.
Fair
off the top
enough.
of my head.
Bubble
Off
Rocket
top.
says, I'd love it if hospitals closed. It'd be funny.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense why you had to
Yeah.
go back in though. I mean, you really, you know, pain never sleeps, or bleeding never sleeps.
Bleeding
Something,
never
you know.
sleeps.
That's right.
Is that true?
Actually, I'm pretty sure if your bleeding does if your blood goes to sleep, it's really bad for you. That's when it like starts to coagulate.
I can hear my blood snoring. Yeah, it's probably good if hospitals stay open all the time. Not good for you, but, you know.
No, yeah. That would be a hell of a thing, though, right? If hospitals were like, we're taking the day off, man.
It'd be like
It's
everybody
just
would
a
just
lot.
stay home that day.
Yeah.
And, like, sit in a room and hope nothing goes wrong. Be very careful.
Just make sure you don't like don't cook.
No.
Don't do any of the shit you would do at home that could hurt you.
Which is everything.
Yeah. Stay off the stairs. Don't touch any outlets. Drink your water out of a plastic cup.
Bellbo Rocket says hospital workers are like in real life NPCs. Which is very true. Very true.
That's very true. Yeah, because if I talk to a hospital worker, like I'll cycle through their 3 lines of dialogue, and then they'll just start saying the same thing over.
Yeah, they do the same lines like, "Do you have insurance? Leave here. You don't have insurance."
Put that down. That's drugs that you aren't allowed to use. That costs a lot of money. You know, the usual things that NPCs say.
Yeah.
Speaking of video games, what a brilliant segue. Have you been playing? I mean, we were talking about video games for like the last half hour, but like, what games have you been playing?
I've been playing Doom. Let's talk about that. No, I'm just kidding. I've been playing. Let's see. I'm not sure if I like it yet or not, so I can't really give too much information about this. But I'm playing Marvel's Avengers.
Oh, interesting.
I enjoy aspects of it, but it has tons of parallels with like a Destiny or Division type game. So I'm expecting to get bored of it soon. It hasn't happened yet. I'm still enjoying it, but I'm still pretty early in. I've barely played it. So I don't know if I like it or not yet, but I've been playing that. What else? I'm playing...
Seems kind of fun.
Yeah,
Seems fun for like an hour or two, or more, depending on how good it is.
I don't know yet. I'm still early in. I don't really know.
Well, we look forward to your continued updates.
Yes, I'll let you know in another week or so.
Follow-up report.
Fall Guys, I've still been playing here and there.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's about it for me right now.
Alrighty,
How about you?
I've been playing more Wandersong. I feel like I'm really getting close to the end of that game, and I gotta tell you what, the more I play it, the more I like it.
Wandersong. Remind me what that is again. I'm drawing a blank for a second. We talked about it in the past.
It's like a cute little colorful cartoony platformer game. You play like this little bard who goes around and you solve all your problems by singing, and you're trying to, you know, the world is ending and you're trying to solve it with empathy and compassion.
Kind of reminds me of, I haven't played enough of this, but it kind of reminds me of Undertale in the sense that you're not fighting everybody like you normally would. You can, but you're trying to, like,
in this game you don't get the
ways.
option to be a murderous person. Yeah.
Got Captain really... Sheepy in the chat.
Captain Sheepy, what's up? Welcome back. That's right, folks. If you join in the chat and you are a regular like Captain Sheepy, you get that
you get like a sitcom entrance. Once I get the soundboard working, we'll get like a round of applause when the people show up.
That'd be awesome. We should have them to say like Norm.
Yeah. I'll have that set up by next week, maybe.
Or just like the little piano thing, like do 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 do. Anytime like somebody we recognize comes in the chat. But what does Captain Sheepy say? They say "Drob."
Yo.
Yo.
Boy, what a reception.
What a reception indeed. But yeah, the more I play Wandersong, the more I like it more and more. It's interesting because like it's like weird because it's almost in a lot of ways not a game. More like you get. I mean, what was that?
Well, what, like more of like an art piece or something?
Sort of. I mean, so like, you can't die. I've tried, and you can't die in the game, and that's fine. But like, it's more like a storybook that you get to like kind of like interact with and play through. So like, you can talk to people. You get to like walk around these like areas, but there's no like failing.
Okay.
And it's just more so you get to like watch the story play out, and like there's like you can like unlock dances, so like there's little extra things you can get that like you know if you don't find them all you don't get it. So there's like a completionist aspect to it, but yeah, it's just like it's more like you're playing through like a really fun story. Okay. But the one thing I'm really liking about it is like so it's not like a very like adult quote unquote game. Like no one's saying like fuck, shit, piss, poop. There's not like a lot.
I need to hear piss and poop to enjoy a video game.
Hear some piss and poop, man. You can't draw it on Twitch, but you need to hear about the piss and the poop. You know, there's not like a lot. There's no talk about like people sexing it up or anything like that. Like none of that. But like, it's still interesting because despite like it being a game that's like like the plot line is still perfectly like it can resonate with a kid or whatever. But like the more I play it, like it's dealing with these really complex like emotions that people
Oh,
feel, and
that's
like
cool.
characters like kind of question like what they're doing with their lives, and like it's just kind of like it's a very mature game, and
All right.
like not mature like you normally think of like
Yeah,
M-rated for
but just
blood and
like
guts.
psychologically mature, kind of like the
Yeah,
themes are a little bit more. I don't know.
yeah, like
It's not as.
it really. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was trying to think of a word. It's not as like lighthearted or whatever.
It's like, yeah, like I mean, parts of it are light-hearted, but then there's a lot like characters die, and like
Yeah.
like characters just like it's like for instance, I'm not gonna give anything away, so I'm gonna talk about it very vaguely. But like I can't like there's a scene, and like this character that you're with a lot, like she's kind of a jerk, and then like she has it like she comes to this place and she's like wondering where her parents came from because you find out like shortly before that she never met her parents, and then she's like in this town of people who like would be where her parents were from, and then like you just kind of like catch that character doing a thing in a later scene, and then like if you stick around your character like talk with them, and then they just kind of like say like they ask your character like why they're so happy all the time, and your character like says like I'm not happy all the time, I have to like try to be happy. I don't know, it all just struck me as a very real sort of like
Nice.
it's not a conversation I think I've ever had with anybody, but it's just like the emotions that the characters were talking about just struck me as
Feel
like
believable. The writing's good.
the writing is very good. And it's
Okay.
like surprising.
I
Like
think that's what
you
you're
don't
trying
think
to
it's
say.
going to be so good. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's cool. I should try that. I like that kind of stuff.
I highly
like this
recommend
good
it, and not to
writing.
like, yeah, and like not to give up the ghost, but I have cried a couple times at it, and
Okay.
like, it's not. They probably weren't like this guy's gonna cry at it, but sometimes I feel some type of way. I cry at movies and things a lot.
It tickles
I like
your
to
heart
cry.
a little bit.
I like to get my heart tickled. I like
Yeah.
to cry. Like, what can I say?
Yeah.
So it's a game that's made me do that, and yeah, I think I appreciate it for it. And like
That's cool.
when it does that, it's because it's doing a great job at it at what it's doing, and I think this game is one of those things.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll check that out. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Bella Rocket says, I'd love a virtual novel. So I guess that's kind of a good way to almost describe that game. Like a virtual novel. Like it's kind of like you're experiencing an interactive story. Can't really lose.
Yeah.
Just watching it play out, and you get to kind of interact. I like that kind of game.
I do too. I like I don't need a game to be like hard all the time where it's just like you're gonna fucking die, you loser. Like I don't need that all the time.
Right.
Sometimes I want sometimes I want just an experience that like I can take with me.
Yeah.
It's
No,
just
Some,
yeah. So if sorry, go ahead.
I like casual gaming as well, or like Bella Rocket said in the next comment, like a passive, something you can play
Yeah.
passively. That's fun. It's nice, like chill. experience
Exactly. It's
sometimes.
a very chill game. So
like
it's
that.
cool, and like it's I highly recommend it if anyone wants to check it out. It won awards actually from what I found out. Like I was doing some research on it.
The award that you give out every year.
It got the My Heart is Full award from Ian Newton.
And you don't give that out lightly. I know that about you. You know you.
I don't.
You have to earn it.
It's a cold withered place in here.
There's a few years that no one wins that award.
That's true. I mean, oh boy. But if you want to play it, it's on Steam. It's on Game Pass. If you have like Xbox Game Pass for PC, it's one of the games that you can like download. That's how I found out about it.
Awesome.
And
Yeah, I do have that, so we play it. So I was gonna try.
highly recommend. It's also, and this might be for not something everyone understands in the chat, but if anyone's watched that Half-Life VR, but the robots are self-aware videos, it's where the Black Mesa Sweet Voice comes from, and I found that out after I was playing the game.
That's funny.
Yeah, but I found like I'm actually very happy like when I researched it that I found out it won awards, because I was gonna be like super bummed if like it turns out this game had like flown under the radar just because of like how it's just like clearly the people who made it really care.
That's cool.
And so I like to see that sort of thing get rewarded, and it won awards. So I'm very happy to see that the people
Appreciated it. Like you
received
did.
accolades.
It's
Yeah,
nice
exactly.
when the general public feels the same about a piece of art that you do.
Yeah, or it's nice when people get like recognition. Like no one
Yeah.
like it's a shame when someone who's like it's like Van Gogh died before ever like getting his work in galleries or anything like that. And then people are just like, oh, but he must be so happy now afterwards because he's dead. He's fucking dead. Like he could have used that money to like not be dead or whatever. But so it's nice to see them
reattach his ear.
yeah, get a robot ear.
Yeah, it wasn't in the budget.
Get one of those bugles.
Yeah, I think that was a robot ear for its time.
I think so. Yeah.
Wow, how futuristic! He's got a horn coming out of his head.
Yeah, I got a cochlear implant, and it's just like a horn. But let me see. Captain Sheepy says, I've been going for high scores in this Arena Survivor Doom mod called Realism, keeping track of my records via a .txt. I'll have to check that out. I haven't heard about that, but that sounds pretty cool. So it sounds kind of like a Devil Dagger sort of thing. But yeah. So I've been really having a great time with Wandersong, and I highly recommend it.
I will definitely check it out and report back.
Yeah. I've been talking about it at least 3 weeks in a row now because it's.
I do remember you talking about it,
great.
I just don't think we went in as deep last time we talked
That's
about
all right. I don't want to give too many details away because part of it is.
Especially that type of game. I feel like you don't want spoilers.
Yeah. But it's so good. I just really recommend it to everybody. It's one of those games where like if I'm feeling bummed out, I'll play it and then I'll feel better. So.
Okay. I can use a little bit of that.
Yeah. I mean, also the world is ending in the game and I haven't finished it yet, so it might end on a complete bummer of a note for all I know. So don't get further than I am right now until I can report back.
Don't spoil it for Ian.
Yeah, please don't spoil it for me. I'll be really bummed out. Actually, I'll cry again, but this time it won't be from the good writing.
Cool. Well, I'll check that out.
Yeah.
Sold.
Highly recommend. 10 out of 10 would sing. Also, like in the game, you can like sing at any point for most of the time in the game, like unless they like specifically have your character not able to sing. But even in cutscenes, like
that's right.
Yeah, so like even in cutscenes though, you can just like move it, and then like your speech bubble will turn the color of the note you're singing. And so like I literally spend most of the game just like walking around going like.
As you should. You don't let a feature like that go to waste.
Exactly. It's weird how much, because like the thing is they also like modify the notes he sings so it's always in tune with the background music. So I'm always just like singing accompaniments to like the songs that are playing.
I like that.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Let's see, Cap Sheepy says, talking about that realism, it's cool. The main mechanic is that there's a slot machine on your HUD that rolls before every round and it determines what modifiers affect the battlefield. I like that. Like, keeps it interesting, makes it almost like feels like a roguelike from what I... Anyways, enemies and weapon items, spawns, all that is rolled. And every 5 rounds is a boss battle.
Interesting.
Cool. Nice.
So it's kind of like it is basically Doom roguelike. I'm trying to think of a great pun for that, but I haven't come up with one yet.
We'll keep waiting.
Yeah. Finding, shit, hold on.
In a second now.
Never mind.
Alright, moving on.
Moving on. We just finished Corner Gas like 30 minutes before the show started.
How was the ending? Or is it a finale, or is it just the end of what's out?
It's a finale. The show ended way back in like 2006.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but it's good. It's one of those endings where they're just like nothing's different. Which I guess might be a spoiler, but not really. But
okay.
They also have like a movie that I haven't seen yet, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna tackle that next.
Nice.
And then they have Corner Gas, the animated series, which started 2 years ago. It started back in 2018. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it. I don't know if we're gonna check it out or not.
Right. Okay.
Seems weird.
Yeah, some things don't necessarily seem necessary when it comes to.
There's like, it looks like how Trailer Park Boys, the animated series, looks. which is also Canadian. So I don't know if that's like
So
an
all Canadian
Canadian
shows look the
phenomenon.
same? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, I am
Oh,
actually.
okay.
Can't tell the difference if you're from Manitoba or if you're from Saskatchewan and other provinces of Canada. I know there's 13 of them, so you think it's. Quick, Brandon, name off the provinces of Canada and their capitals. Go.
Windsor.
I don't think that's one of them.
No, I don't know. That's just near Detroit.
Okay.
Toledo.
Nope, that's also not one.
It's Ohio.
Thought so.
Toronto.
Yep, there you go. That's one.
I'm trying to do a bit here and it's not funny, so I'm just gonna let it go.
What was the bit?
I don't know, just
naming wrong places.
Yeah, Kentucky, Captain Sheepy says.
Kentucky. Juno.
Yeah, there you go. Juno, the movie
Juno.
starring Michael Cera.
Well, it didn't start. He was more of a side character. It really starred Ellen Page.
Isn't it starring both of them?
Yeah, but you know he's like in 4 or 5 scenes in the movie. To be honest, Jason Bateman's in the movie more than Michael Cera is. I didn't like it, to be honest. How did you feel about Juno when you saw it?
I don't remember. I don't think okay, so this is usually like if a movie I saw it one time and I remember like very little about it. That's usually my way of being like, okay, I probably didn't like it that much.
That's fair. I think that's very.
If I don't recall anything from it, that says something about the movie.
Yeah.
Granted,
I
might be on my poor like attention skills as well, but I usually a movie if it doesn't resonate with me, then it wasn't for me. I don't think.
Yeah, I think that's actually a very mature way of viewing it. And a lot of people are just like, I hated this movie. I think it should burn. Like,
no, I don't feel that strongly about Juno.
Yeah. Isn't it weird when people do feel that strongly about like things that they just
feel personally offended when people don't agree with them on art.
So weird. Like, one of my favorite things to say about a thing I didn't like is just like, it wasn't my cup of tea. Which I think is a fair thing to say. Like sometimes it's just not your preference. I drink more coffee. Is tea your cup of tea? I do like tea. Don't get me wrong. It's just it's not the drink du jour of
the drink of the day.
Is that what it? Oh shit. Okay.
I think du jour means of the day.
I was just trying to be fancy.
I liked it though. I might start using that as a way to describe things I'm not a fan of.
It's not my soup du jour. It's not my soup of the day.
I like tea. I go through waves of drinking it. Usually I drink a lot more tea in the winter because I drink a lot of iced tea in the summer. Welcome to Tea Chat, where we talk about tea.
We talk about tea.
How have you all been steeping this past week?
Tell me what does your tea have a lot of tannins in it? Let's discuss.
I don't think tea has tannins.
I mean, you ever get those weird tea bits from the bag that just like seep into your cup? Like, what's that about? Like, stop it.
I don't think pulp equals or like I don't think sediment equals tannins.
No. Oh, actually, sediment is kind of tannins. Like, I mean, it's in wine specifically, but like
they're
it's
both in wine,
like
but I don't know if they're.
I mean, the tannins are the sediment.
Is that true?
I think so. I mean, I had to learn about wine when I worked in a restaurant, but
I work in one where I'm supposed to know, and I feel like I want to say it's not true, but I also can't say for sure.
It was kind of rude because like I offered to work. I guess maybe it wasn't rude, but like I offered to like become a server in this restaurant, and the manager at the time just like whap just gave me like this whole big ass like whap. Gave me this whole big ass like packet of papers and was just like, okay, like remember this. And I was just like, I feel like most of these guys don't remember this.
Like, you just have to pass a test and then you can forget it. Like all the people that have been working there for a while.
What was really fucked up is like the one general manager that everybody hated, like on the test that they gave for like if you could keep your job was like, how do you spell the general manager's name? And it's just like, what the fuck is that about, man? Like who cares? First of all, everyone hates you.
Morgan.
Second of all, like
My roommate Morgan, she doesn't work at her restaurant anymore that she worked at for years, but they pulled some shit like that too. They had a test that was like all this information, and then one of the questions was like, not even, this sounds like it would be like a joke, or if somebody had a sense of humor, maybe that was like, but the owner of the restaurant, he made the test, and one of the questions was, is, whatever his name was, is he from North Korea or South Korea? And it's just like, what?
Probably South.
Yeah, you could probably make the guess, but like, it's just like, what? Am I gonna be punished for getting this wrong? Do I need to know your country?
If he's from North Korea, shouldn't we like call somebody?
How do you?
Like that's like a big international incident.
Well,
yeah, he needs to like.
People from there aren't inherently bad. It's just hard to get out.
Hard to get out. Like he needs to write a how-to for some folks back home or something like that. Although I don't think they want to come here anymore. I don't know. I wouldn't.
How to leave? Yeah, I'm not sure we're that much better now. How to leave North Korea in 10 days.
How to lose a country in 10 days.
Oh boy.
Boy, oh boy, this is Political Corner where we start talking about politics. It happens more than we'd like to say.
Yeah, we're always like, all right, that's it for the show, and then that's all we talk about.
And I'm like, let me tell you about the protests going on. I never say anything bad about the protests, but you know, it is a topic that has come up.
Yeah, it's hard not to get political these days in this political climate.
In this polarized country we live in.
What else is new over the past?
Did you see that G4 put out a casting call for new folks?
I did see that.
I applied.
That's awesome. Do you make like a video, or do you just?
Yeah, like a lot of people I feel like are going all out and doing like it's got to be 2 minutes or less. But I just like sat in front of my computer camera and just like wrote a script out and then just said it all in one take, just because I was just like, you probably want someone who's got this skill who can get through a take without messing up.
Yeah, so I'm sure there's a lot of stuff they're looking for, but yeah, I think people are trying to go all out because just like grabbing, gets your attention.
Yeah, I feel like and I mean, this isn't for me trying to like pump up my own audition tape, and like I don't think I'm gonna get it. Like the fact that I got this writing gig is like a miracle enough, and I think I used up all my good luck for the next 20 years. But
nonsense.
You know, if you're like hiring casting for like your thing, like would you want the person who did like the weird like flashing colors, here's a funny sketch, blah blah blah, or like wouldn't you want a guy who's kind of like, hi, this is like me, but like
I think you're looking for the full package, and obviously certain things are going to break it for you, but other things, I don't know. If you can do like something that's very eye-catching but also shows that you're personable and clever and creative, it's a win-win, I think. But yeah, there's going to be stuff that's cringy and too over the top and is going to end up hurting people more than helping them, but it's give and take. I don't know what a person like that looks for.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Like, I feel like with
TV
the probably like, what was that?
Looking for like a TV personality, but I don't know exactly what that is.
Yeah, I don't know like how you.
But I don't know. I'm like, you'd have to work in the industry to know what you need.
Exactly. I have to assume like, first of all, I have to assume like they said first of all you can nominate like internet personalities already, so I feel like those are gonna be the go-to. Like I feel like if anyone who's unknown gets it, it's gonna be a surprise.
They're gonna get a lot of write-ins.
Yeah, but I feel like if I was hiring for a thing, I would eventually get really sick and tired of people doing like skits. I don't know. I feel like by the 10th skit, I'd be like, oh Jesus Christ, it's another skit.
Yeah.
But I also don't know. I mean, maybe
I think that would be true, but then there would be the occasional really good skit that you'd remember.
Yeah.
And then you have to watch another 1,000 bad skits.
Exactly.
And then narrows it down. Or maybe there's just somebody that can sell themselves by not doing a skit, and that's something too. That's probably better if they're able to do it without the flashy.
I'm a very no frills guy anyway. Like I don't know.
Yeah, let's
I'm like,
make sure they know the product they're buying. and I'm
Yeah.
selling.
Like your G4, you just started up again. We don't even know if you have any money. Like for all we know, this is all a big pyramid scheme. Like
I'm just gonna try to sell you knives. If I do too good of a
Yeah.
job, they're gonna expect me to do that good all the time, and
Exactly.
that's just not me. No, it's not true.
That's not true at all. That's not true at all.
I give effort.
I can say words at a camera.
I was gonna say, I actually used to make a lot of videos and stuff. I don't do it as much anymore. Now and then. I don't have the time.
It's hard. It's a lot of effort.
I have to go to my job.
Yeah, like we can't spend all day making animations at
We
home
used to.
anymore just because we feel like it.
The good old days.
In the good old days when I feel like more people had more time to do that sort of shit, like in their off hours. Like I feel like back in the heyday of like Newgrounds and stuff, like some of the people making those weren't all 13-year-old kids like we are.
No, right. But hey, if you're good enough, you were able to get some money out of it.
Yeah.
But also, there's just people that, you know, their passion is that kind of stuff, so they'll do it in their free time.
That, and allow me to get on my soapbox for a moment, but I feel like with wealth inequality having become such a big quagmire, you know, I feel like you have to also have a lot of, like, if you're doing well financially, you can do your job, go home, and not be stressed out, and then be like, I guess I'll fucking animate like a dumb Final Fantasy fan film or some shit. Like
Right,
that.
yeah.
I feel like nowadays a lot of people don't have any money, especially because like the pandemic and stuff like that. So a lot of them don't quite, unless there's like the chance for monetary gain. I feel like a lot of people just don't quite feel.
If you're broke and burnt out, it's hard to funnel time and efforts into creativity. Some people, I mean, that's how they relax and stuff, and that's awesome. But and sometimes it is for me,
my heart
but
goes out
also
to them.
not all the time. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
some people, that's how they wind down, is by creative pursuits, and that's awesome. And I feel that way sometimes, but not all the time. Sometimes I'm like, I want to sit down and stare at a wall and not talk to anybody for a few hours.
I want to pretend like I don't exist for like just a little bit, please. Can I please play Wander Song? And then I do that.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, why is it 4 o'clock in the morning?
And I'm crying again. Velvet Rocket
crying.
says, I don't know if money, stress, but definitely the job takes enough out of me that I don't want to do anything else. And yeah, I feel that too. Like, there's times that I'm like, okay, when I get home from work, I'm gonna work on this project. I get home, and then I'm like, no way am I working on that.
Yeah.
I feel terrible.
I felt that, like, and that's like, I would, back before I sort of knew myself better, like, I was so used to the idea of going home from, like, school or whatever, and, like, having the energy to, like, do other things. And so, like, when I was, like, working and, like, doing projects for people before, I'd be like, hey, like, I'll definitely get this done by tonight. And then I'd get home and I'd be like, oh,
why did I do that to myself?
Yeah. So then, like, I overpromised and underdelivered for a lot of people, I think.
Yeah.
But, you know, I know better now.
We've gotten better
I
at
hope.
giving people an accurate ETA.
No, I'm just a lot better at being like, look, I might get this done.
You just you're a lot more vague now.
I'm a lot more
So
vague.
people
That's
don't
a
get
great
their
way of
hopes
putting
up
it.
as much.
Yeah. I'm a lot more of a, like, for instance, and I hope he's not watching. I had a friend who he called me about this idea for like a card game sort of thing he's doing, and he was like, first of all, we talked at first, and then I didn't realize I'd signed up. And I didn't sign up for anything, but like I didn't realize I'd offered, I guess, to do one of the cards for him as like a test run.
Maybe you didn't.
And then like, I don't think I did, but you know, he's a good friend, so whatever. And it wasn't a lot of effort, but like I totally forgot until like he called me, and then I was just like, oh fuck, I'm supposed to make that card. So I just like whipped it out in like 2 hours, and then called him back, and, you know, did that whole thing. But
was he happy?
yeah,
with it?
I mean, yeah, he was happy with it. He was super happy
well,
with
there
it.
you go.
Yeah.
No harm done.
Look at that. And look at this, though. Oh, I need to write the DrawBomb words at the top. Someday we'll get a logo.
Still like
Someday we'll get an intro.
We're on our way.
That's right. I don't know if anyone saw it in the DrawBomb Discord. You can check out down below.
Oh yeah, I forgot to post that.
But Brandon did. He did post a little animated GIF of the DrawBomb intro in progress.
Me and Ian met on an animation forum, so it is kind of our roots, but we both haven't done it in a long time. At least I haven't. I don't know about you.
I have not. No, not at all. I haven't done it for over 10 years.
Yeah, so it felt weird, but also good doing it again. It's a lot of work, but it's fun. And yeah, I think you guys will all like it a lot when it's done. It's coming along.
I hope so. The animation you did post is pretty fantastic, and you did that, and like you were like, okay.
Day.
I'll see you in a little bit, and then like 2 hours later, you sent me like the animation, and I was just like, oh, okay.
You're giving me too much credit. It was like, I don't know, 5-6 hours or something, but still, it went faster than, as far as animation goes, it went faster than it ever has for me before.
I think that's because, and feel free to tell me I'm wrong, which you do frequently, but
you're wrong. I don't do that.
There it goes. Here it goes. Keenan and Kel. I don't know the rest of the words off.
Orange soda and stuff.
He does say orange soda in like the first 3 lines of the song, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like since we're older and wiser, we are probably smarter at animating too, because like we have like we still remember like what you're supposed to do, but we probably know how to like budget our time with like the animation better now. I think like it's like. So I had to do some driving yesterday, and I haven't driven in also over a year. So I got
you on the internet. Do you have a license?
I do have a license still. Okay. Still, they have not taken it away from me for whatever reason.
Okay.
No, it seems like an oversight, to be honest. Like, sure, I ride my bike all over the city, but it's weird that like I can just ride in a car and it's legal.
You know what they always say? It's like riding a car. You never forget.
That's right. That's right. You just, I mean, once I figured out that what I thought was the clutch was actually the gas, it was fine. But I did a lot better at driving, and I think that's because I'm like an older, smarter person, and I'm just like, maybe I won't go 20 miles above the speed limit. Maybe I'll slow down when I approach the turn, and then speed back up when I'm through the halfway point. Like just all these things that like now seems like common sense, but maybe I just didn't put thought into it when I was younger and like driving. So like when I drove again, I fucking drove smooth as silk. Like
better than ever before.
Better than ever before. I had like at one point, like when I was driving back, like these tractors surrounded me because I live in like farmy area a little bit. But I didn't crash into these tractors, and when I was like younger me, I probably would have had a panic attack because I also did not enjoy driving. When I was a younger kid, I crashed into a few things, including a window. I crashed into a window, but I didn't break the window. That's how crazy my driving skills were.
Well, that means you weren't going that fast.
It was while I was parking on a okay. Look, it's not my fault. Okay, I was parking.
I never said it was. You're getting
very defensive. One of these like slanted hills, like the parking lot of this Payless was slanted upwards, and then you had to like park on it, and then all of a sudden I just hear like a tap. And I'm just like, oh, I just hit the window of that Payless. I am going to drive away.
Yeah, that's when you're like, I guess I don't need shoes that bad.
Yep. Well, I was actually trying to go to the Big Lots down the street, but still.
So you hit and run a Payless shoe store.
Yeah, I did with my car.
Get him, cops. This is what we've been...
Oh, no.
I've been collecting information on this incident
for
years now.
I have to pay more.
It's a very elaborate catfish.
Finally
got him
to fruition.
Everybody in the chat is in on it. This is all part of the played right into our hands. It only cost millions of dollars, thousands of hours.
Lots of.
I had to learn to draw just to do this. I have no idea. This is,
And like all of a sudden, your drawings like I look. And like the drawing of this little dude in the front like just falls over. It's actually cardboard that was taped to my screen.
Wow. I'm not even sure logistically how we'd pull that one off.
I'm not sure either. I feel like that would work in like a episode of the Rugrats or something like that though.
Yeah.
Or maybe something else. Anyway, so that's the story of me and my property damage.
Well, happens to the best of us.
No, it doesn't.
I don't know. If I couldn't count on my hands the amount of Payless shoe stores I've accidentally driven my car through.
I drove my car through it. I hit the window
shit!
and
No,
I did.
just like go through.
I didn't even crack the window. I looked again the next week to make sure.
You went back.
It was one of those situations. I did go back to the scene of the crime.
Did you drive a different vehicle to go?
I may have. I mean, none of the cars are mine.
Oh, okay.
They were all my parents' cars. I think it was my. No, I mean I was driving that truck pretty consistently. So, but like it's funny because I do remember hitting like that window and like just again a gentle love tap, like a nudge, and then I saw like the cashier like look behind her, go, did that dude just hit that car with like that window with that car? And then I was just like, bye.
A gentle love tap is what you call hitting something with a car. Have you ever gently love tapped any pedestrians? Because I feel like...
Actually, yes.
Oh,
well, they were inside the car. I hit a tree, and then the person inside the car gently love tapped the back of their head against like the... Look, let's get off topic, okay? Let's move on to something else.
This isn't about trying to criminalize you. Let's move on. I talk enough about like the drugs I do on this show and all the other things that are potentially incriminating. Let's not add like property damage to the list. Fair.
Wow, this drawing's looking This is like the monorail episode of The Simpsons, essentially.
Does it end with the train crashing?
I think so. Yeah, I think they.
I thought he just skipped town. I thought they didn't even build it. It was like the Music Man parody. Basically.
No, like in the episode they build a monorail and it like almost kills everybody on board.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's been a while.
I think there's a grappling hook involved.
Wow, I hope so.
I don't remember. It's been a minute, but like, that's one of the articles that I want to write for this thing is about how, for some reason in The Simpsons, like the first couple seasons are like a slice of life. Like we're too poor to afford a nice Christmas, and then all of a sudden, like they're all about to die on a train in a zoo, and like Ned Flanders comes in and like the pastor like comes in and like punches a gorilla off of like the roller coaster in the zoo. It's just so weird. Like,
look, so you're right, but I also love some of those episodes. So.
Oh, I know some of them are the best, but it's just like such a weird tonal shift when you're watching the show. Like,
I think maybe somebody like they got a glimpse into the future, and someone told them they were going to be writing the show for like 1,000 years. So they're like, "Oh, we got to start getting more creative." There's only so many family issues we can cover.
Right. There's only so many episodes that are depressing, or like. Actually, you know what? I was mostly happy that I didn't have to like. They stopped doing episodes where like. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. My least favorite episode of The Simpsons is the one where Lisa is babysitting Bart, and then Bart breaks his arm and like gets all fucked up and like tries to torment Lisa with it, and it's just like a really gross and horrifying episode. I didn't like it. I didn't like it one bit. It just really freaked me out.
What did you like about it? Oh, it just made you squeamish?
Yeah, because like his arm's all broken. He's just like, I'm gonna tell mom, and then he just like gets more fucked up. His arm's broken and dangling, and I'm just like, God.
Yeah, it's got a little like dip in it.
No, it's like straight up bent the wrong way. Like it doesn't have a dip. His like arm is like fucking hanging floppily off the like opposite end of the joint that it's supposed to be.
No, that's not ideal.
Horrifying. No, it's not.
Okay.
I didn't like that episode. Didn't like it.
I don't like it. How about everybody in the chat? How do you feel about Bart's broken arm?
Yeah, let's talk about that episode.
Alright, let's save this one.
I like it.
I'll lock it.
Can I also, now that we're like finished with the superhero drawing, can I go on another spiel? Because that's like basically what I do
the
on the
whole show is spiels. Let's go.
Yeah. So like, do you remember like the Superman cartoons from like when we were kids where it was like Bruce Timm? So I was always weirded out by like he was Superman, and I guess like it makes sense because just you don't want him to be like invincible or anything like that. But like Superman would be like, I'm gonna catch this train. I caught this train, and now I gotta like fly harder because like what is he doing to make him fly harder?
What's he pushing against?
What was that?
What's he pushing against? What's the resistance?
Right. It's gravity. Like, I'm sure the train's heavy, but like, why are you flying harder?
So there must be some kind of effort involved in making himself levitate.
I guess, but like, is that like, what, is he farting a lot? Like, what?
Well,
Does he like have a little like gravitational waves shooting out of his feet? Like, what is it that he is doing that
He has
like,
to
is strange?
He has to clench to fly.
Yeah. Like, the harder
It's bad for you, Superman.
you see him doing squats all day because he
don't
realizes
fly
he's
so
got to really
hard.
clench.
Good question. Yeah, apparently, making yourself levitate takes a little bit of force.
Yeah. It's just, it always, like, even at, like, I don't know why I was thinking about this as a kid, but I'd be watching it as a kid going, like, okay, but, like, he's, like, a superhuman, and, like, what's he flying against? Like, sure, the train's heavy, but, like, how is he, like, I was thinking about this, like, when I was 10.
Like, people making the show are like, look, kid, do you actually want to watch this show, or what's your problem?
Yeah.
Why
What, you want
gotta be so
Superman to just, like,
difficult?
snap his fingers, solve everything?
That would be no fun either. You just were mad.
I was
Anyone
an
take
angry
it
child.
Your brother says Superman eats a lot of chili with beans. There you go.
Oh,
Farting.
no. Well, I mean, he did grow up on a farm, so he could have been
It's
a
a
bean
bird.
farmer.
It's a plane. It smells like shit. It's Superman.
There's a man leaping over that tall building with a brown stain in the back of his pants.
Oh man.
Well, we
That's-
can't draw that on DrawBomb. We'll get banned from Twitch.
What a horrible. It would. Oh man. It would just. What a terrible thing to see. We would deserve to be banned.
Yeah,
My
I
God,
would
how
actually.
horrible.
I'd be on board with
How
us getting
upsetting.
banned for that.
We're just getting some momentum on here.
That's right. We're just don't mind about the poops that we're drawing. Worry about the poops that you're taking all over us.
Twitch.
Twitch. More like shit.
Oh man.
All right. Well, what a strong opening to the show. Good night, everybody. That was great.
I mean, we've been going for an hour and 15 minutes, so.
Make sure you all subscribe. It's September or whatever the fuck Twitch does during September's or whatever the fuck.
We should do like some kind of, you know how there's all these like drawing challenges in October? We should come up with prompts ourselves.
I agree with that, because did you hear about the controversy
I
about
did.
Inktober?
And there's already so many other good options, so instead of going with that one, let's make our own
Yeah.
or find a good one to do, and maybe our community can jump in a little bit and we can repost all their stuff.
I've seen so
What's a
many
clever
people being
name?
like, what was that?
What would be a clever name for it?
So, like, I've seen so many people being like, Inktober is over, now for Arttober. And I'm just like, no, everybody. It's clear that the best name is Octobart. I mean, what the fuck? How has
Should we-
nobody come up with that one yet? Like, all the posts
Octobart's
about
broken
Inktober.
arm.
Octobart's broken arm, that's right. Octobart, we just draw Bart every day, but, like, you draw him as a different famous character.
That actually would probably go over pretty well. Somebody probably has already done this, right?
I mean, I do know a friend who, I'm not sure if he spearheaded it or if he just participated in it, but he was part of a project where they recreated the movie Akira scene by scene, but they replaced all the characters with Simpsons characters.
What'd they call it?
I don't know. Let me look it up real quick.
It's pretty funny though.
Maybe it was just a
Barkira.
trailer. Bart Kira. It is called the Simpsons Akira mashup.
Ah. Didn't even try.
Oh, Bart Kira. No, I saw one article called Bart. It's called Bart Kira.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Oh. Oh, Zach even said it in the chat. He said
Right,
Bart
that's
Kira.
right. That's why I said it. I just didn't know if you were making a
Oh.
joke or if that was actually what it was called.
I guess it was actually called.
Well, all right then.
But yeah, so everyone in October, it's no longer Inktober because it turns out that guy is a plagiarist and also he trademarked the hashtag, so you'll get like sued if you try and use it or whatever. So no more Inktober, now Octobart. First day, everyone draw Bart Simpson like he's Inuyasha. There we go.
We should both come up with some prompts, unless you actually are going to draw Bart every day. This isn't a terrible idea.
It's not terrible. Honestly, it would probably be one of those things where we're like, this is fucking stupid, and then like it pops off on the internet because like it's like a The shit rises to the top
Fucking
on the
stupid
internet.
resonates on the internet.
Yep.
It's the whole energy of the internet.
Yeah. The whole energy is like, what if Bart Simpson but an oatmeal? And that's the internet in a nutshell. I don't know why I said an oatmeal. I couldn't think of it better.
Bortmeal.
Bortmeal. Inu Barcha. Tenchi Bartyo.
Dumb.
I will say, like, one of my favorite things on the internet before it became like oversaturated with like things of this type was when people were doing like King of the Hill but replacing them with like anime characters or drawing anime characters in the King of the Hill, like as King of the Hill characters.
Yeah, I do like those mashups and stuff. They're funny.
Just King of the Hill though, for some reason, just strikes me as like the antithesis of animes, like, or like at least the characters.
It's American
very
anime. It's like anime about American life.
It pretty much is, yeah. Like, you know, anime is always like they're in like these streets of like the different like Kyoto and stuff like that, and like, you know, everyone's like, all the dads are like salesmen and stuff like that. I mean, I'm making terrible stereotypes.
Elbow Rocket just subscribed. Thank you for subscribing. We appreciate it
very,
very much.
So much.
If anybody else watching the show has, you know, Prime subscription, has one of those free subscribes, and wants to support the show, we'd very much appreciate it. It helps us unlock more emotes and fun things like that, and helps us become more real. And
yeah.
I'm a real channel.
I'm a real Twitch affiliate.
Oh boy.
Oh.
So yeah, thank you very much for subscribing.
Thank you so much. I think that's Belbo Rocket basically signing off on Octobart.
Yeah, she approved the cancellation. Oh yeah, I get what you're saying. Yes, that's one vote for Octobart.
That's right. We gotta start. That's the list. Day one. Somebody write this down because we're too busy drawing dumb Supermen clearly. But day one, draw Bart as Inuyasha characters, or just draw the Simpsons as Inuyasha characters. I don't care. Whatever you want to do. Day two, Bartio. Draw Bart as Mario.
Day three.
Everyone, yeah.
Bardio. Draw Bart as Wario.
Day four, Bardio. Draw Bart as Phil Collins singing Susu Studio. Susu Studio. Day five.
You're probably bored of it by this point, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. What the fuck ever. Draw Bart as all of the characters from, what was that?
Bartfield. Draw
Bartfield.
Bart as Garfield.
That definitely exists though.
Yeah,
I've definitely seen Bartfields in the past.
I don't know.
Can I just say, like, I remember as a child having, like, my parents bought me a shirt and it showed Bart and he has like a slingshot aiming at like whoever's looking at the shirt, and it says Bart Simpson, underachiever and proud of it, man, is what he's like saying.
In trouble.
I got in trouble for wearing that. Like, I had like a parent walk up to me and be like, "You're proud of being an underachiever?" And I was just like,
"No, this is Bart Simpson talking."
My parents bought me this shirt. Like,
it's like, no. See, that's not a drawing of me on the shirt. This is a cartoon character from a TV show.
Like, it just strikes me as like certain parents will get mad over like literally anything. Like, why was she mad that like there's a shirt going like underachiever and proud of it? Like, okay, so fucking what? Like,
because she hates the Simpsons.
Probably. I mean, I had a couple of friends when I was growing. I had some friends grow up telling me that they weren't allowed to watch Looney Tunes because, one, it glorified violence, and two, the word loony was an epithet against people with mental disabilities. And this is like in the 90s.
Wow.
So these kids were ahead of their time.
That's a little too much, though. I mean, I disagree with those issues. I'm not going to say that it doesn't glorify violence, but if a cartoon character drops an angel on another one's head, I can live with that.
Yeah, like I don't think I'm gonna be able to pick up an anvil. I don't think I'm gonna be able to acquire an anvil.
Right. I'm
It's just-
also, I'm not. It's a hunter versus a rabbit. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, a lot of it was super racist. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
like,
there's a lot of
Looney Tunes-
episodes that are racist.
Yeah.
True.
Like, there's plenty of reasons to not watch Looney Tunes. But I just remember hearing this as a kid and being like, damn, like, your parents really are just not letting you have fun. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was the right choice because those kids were all, like, and went to Harvard or some shit like that, I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah, I'm sure the reason I didn't go to Harvard is because of Looney Tunes.
I think so. I mean, it just exemplifies the whole lifestyle choice of...
That's fair, but I like
I'm not saying that the Looney Tunes is the soul.
If you watch the good episodes, they hold up.
Yeah, of course. Actually, speaking of which, have you been watching... We were talking about this earlier episodes, but yeah, have you watched any more of the Looney Tunes?
So I haven't watched all of it. I watched a few episodes. I think it for something that's kind of, I think, worked because of the time it came out. The whole, like, slapstick, Three Stooges bonking each other on the heads type comedy. That might not work as well now. They pretty much capture the spirit of old Looney Tunes pretty well, and they're trying to make it less. I don't think anybody has any guns or anything like they always used to. They're keeping it little. They're at least being a little more careful with that stuff. I think it captures the spirit pretty well, and the art's good, and I don't know. I've watched it. It's hit or miss, just like actual Looney Tunes, but
of course,
I liked it from what I saw.
Well, there you have it.
I liked it more than I thought I would.
I don't know if this is sacrilege or anything like that. I'm not sure what people's general opinions were, but like a while ago, Cartoon Network did a reboot of Looney Tunes.
The sitcom
but, like,
one, right?
Yeah, it was basically like a sitcom. Like there wasn't a whole lot of like there was the occasional physical comedy, but it was mostly like the characters were like, "Hey there, Bugs, what's going on?" And Bugs would be like, "Oh, I can't get my TV remote to work. Whackity schmackity," and then they'd like, I don't know. It was basically like the
Situational
standard
comedy. But
yeah, like
featuring
no
Looney Tunes
slapstick, dialogue heavy humor. But I didn't think it was terrible. Like I wouldn't say like it slaps or anything like that. But I mean, I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but it is like within the collection of like the stuff all on HBO get now or whatever the per max. It's on there. I haven't watched any of it yet, but yeah, I was curious. You were telling me about that a little bit.
Yeah, there's like I know I've seen a couple of episodes that I thought had funny jokes, and I've also seen a couple of like highlights on YouTube that I thought were pretty funny. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Like, so like this is sort of in the same realm, but there's like that Teen Titans Go show, and I never watched Teen Titans, so I don't know how good it was or anything like that. But Teen Titans Go is clearly like a different vibe because it's like way more cartoony and way more just like again sort of like sitcom-y style humor. But I've watched episodes and it's kind of hilarious. Like I like it.
Okay.
But a lot of people are just like, this show sucks. It's not Teen Titans, and I'm like, no, it's different. Like, it's just not the same.
There's a lot of people that when it comes to TV and nostalgia, and they get very, they feel like
Protective?
Like protective, or like they feel like they own it because it means something to them. So like, it's like the people getting mad about whatever the last reboot of Thundercats, where it's like super cartoony. And it's like,
oh yeah.
So the people who originally watched Thundercats are like 35 now. So like,
even older. I'm almost 35, but I wasn't around for Thundercats. I mean, I feel like you have to be like 40 to have watched Thundercats and have like developed an emotion. I mean, it was on TV, I guess, but like, I don't know. Maybe I don't know the timeline. Maybe it is 35.
I don't know, it was like the 80s.
Yeah, like I feel like it was. I'm gonna look it up. I feel like it was early 80s, but also it doesn't matter. Honestly, I don't know why I'm even caring.
But yeah. So the point I'm making is just like, why are you upset that they're doing like a different version of this show?
Yeah.
I mean, like, does it like ruin your nostalgia or something? I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I will say I get it when you had a show you really liked and then you hear it's coming back and then you hear it's nothing like the original that like
That's fair.
you thought made it special. Like I get that, but also it's like I don't know, the new thing's fun. Like you don't gotta like spend your life trashing it online. You can just like there are so many people who will be like this show, and then like 5 people will come into the chat and be like this show literally killed my family. So it sucks. You suck, and I hope your family dies now. And it's just like chill out, man. Like it's a fucking cartoon that came out like 12 years afterwards. It's just some fun jokes.
I will say, amidst me making that whole thing about like, I don't get why anyone cares, I kind of heard myself saying it, and I was like, there are certain like movie reboots that come out that I'm like, no, like don't do it. The first one's perfect. So maybe that's where it comes from, that energy. But ultimately, I'm so like desensitized about reboots now that I don't even care that much anymore. It doesn't taint the original for me like it used to when reboots were starting to become.
Yeah.
Like they hadn't quite picked up steam like they have now. So now I
feel like
a reboot of something I love could
novel.
probably come out, and I'd probably be like, whatever, it's gonna suck. I probably won't watch it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I think that's fair.
Maybe that's you feel some like ownership over things you love. You don't want to be like talking about it and then everybody you're talking to goes, oh, the new one? And you're like, no, I haven't seen the new one. I'm talking about the original.
The one that's means something to me.
Right.
I do hear the new Bill and Ted is supposed to be really fantastic though.
I've heard good things as well.
Which is surprising, honestly, and kind of like a ray of light in this dark era we live in.
I'm all for it. I mean, it's not I want these things to be bad. I'm just worn out by them often being bad.
They're like, okay, so like I would say the first time a reboot happened and I was excited for it, and then I was obviously let down, was Arrested Development coming back.
Yeah.
I will say I've watched, so like when they came back to Netflix, they had like that first season where it was like the first time they were coming back, so it was like all this new stuff, and like it starts with that whole murder mystery, and like I didn't like it at first. It was like confusing and like weird. So they've come out like when they came out with like the last season, like the end of the whole show, which was also not very good. They did a recut of that season.
Yes.
And like re-edited it, so it kind of like what they did was like instead of doing like a focus on each individual character per episode, and then like you have to kind of put the timeline together yourself, it kind of reads like a normal season of the show where like the timeline is in chronological order and it jumps from character to character. Mm-hmm. Turns out it's a lot funnier that way. It's strange.
It's better.
It's better, and like one of my favorite. I think I've already like said this exact speech in an earlier episode of the show, so if you're watching the archives, you're probably going to be like, oh, they're recycling conversations. But there's this episode where Buster is getting like his new prosthetic hand, and it's like a big robot hand developed by the military, and they're like, all right, now like he like keeps like pretend like, because he knows that like if he makes the hand work, they're going to make him kill people because he's in the army. So he keeps like, they give him an apple, and then he intentionally like squeezes it and crushes it in his hand and be like, oops, I can't make it work. And then like the doctor's like, that's it, initiate the Q test. And then like a little like slot opens up in his like prison cell, and then like a little kitten walks in, and then Buster goes, aw, well, aren't you the Q test? And I was like, that's a good joke. That's it. I haven't actually watched like the whole recut because I kind of like, that's when the new season came out, and I shifted my focus to watching that. But I wouldn't mind watching the whole show start to finish.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty good.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's a good show.
Yeah, actually, that gives me an idea for an article to write for my potential new employer. Let me just take like a quick minute and.
It says the Total Recall remake was blasphemy. I've heard that. I haven't watched it. The original one is just kind of exactly what it needs to be for me, so I don't see any need to see another attempt at it. It's just like, nailed it, moving on.
You know what kind of reboot / remake really did nail it? Fucking Dread.
Yeah, Dread is great.
Dredd was so good, and they were gonna make a sequel, and then it got canned, and then they were gonna do a TV show, and then it got canned, and I'm like, fuck, man, like that movie was like my shit.
It was good. It was way better
Ah,
than
that
the
movie
original.
was great. That movie was so fantastic.
It
Like,
didn't have
I don't know
Rob
why I
Schneider,
liked
but
it so
was
much.
fine.
Yeah, like they made it work. Ah, it was so good.
I mean, I know it
Um,
seems hard to imagine a version of Judge Dredd without Rob Schneider. That's good, but they found a way.
They figured it out, and also they managed to like. I think my favorite part was that they brought back the "I am the law" line, but they made it like so understated that it actually was kind of a cool moment in the film.
I
He's
should
like
watch that again.
he's like on the radio. Yeah, that's such a great movie.
It's been a while. I think I saw it in theaters.
it's
And I
also-
haven't seen it since, but I did like it a lot.
I watched it in my roommate's room, like, cause he used to like we used to like be like, hey man, it's like 2:00 in the morning. You up? And he'd be like, yeah. It's like, you wanna watch fucking Dredd? Like, yeah, let's watch a weird ass movie. So I've seen a lot of weird movies when I was in like that living situation. Like I
Right.
saw that Eddie Murphy movie where he gets to like, I think he has like 1,000 words he has to say before he dies or something like that.
Oh. I don't know if I'm familiar with that one.
What's it called? I'm gonna look it up. It was like really weird. I hated it, but like I had fun watching it with my roommate. Eddie Murphy dies if he
Captain Sheepy
says,
says, I still want to watch Owl House, but I don't want to give Disney money.
I feel I hear Owl House is really good though.
Which one's that?
It's this new Disney show about I don't know anything about it, so forgive me if I am completely summarizing this show. But it's about this girl. She discovers a house that has a witch that lives in it,
Oh,
and then she gets on all sorts of witchy adventures.
yes. I've seen some stuff about that. It looks
Yeah, I hear it's good.
I heard it's good too.
I
It's about
hear
lesbian witches. That's what Captain Sheepy says.
But what I don't know,
Lesbian
that
witches.
Yes, lesbian witches. I think the one's actually bi. I mean, I can't. I feel like I saw something where like I don't know. I don't know if it matters at all. Anyways, but
Either way,
someone's a lesbian. Someone's
Yeah,
bi,
so-
maybe.
check that out.
I did see that. Yeah, I did see that the creator of Gravity Falls did confirm that those two cops, like after like the episode of the big reveal in Owl House with the characters' sexual orientations, I did see that the creator of Gravity Falls confirmed
Serge.
that the two cop characters were gay for each other, but they were just never allowed to explicitly say it because Disney said so.
Okay, so it's almost kind of like pulling off a J.K. Rowling, except I'm sure they would have done it if they could have.
Yeah, I mean,
And
when you
also,
watch that show,
J.K.
like
Rowling
those,
would be the opposite. Well, no, I
Yeah.
guess she was whatever. I don't know.
yeah,
Bad joke,
but those,
moving on.
I mean, those cops were definitely
Yeah, it was
like-
pretty obvious. I mean,
Yeah,
seemed
like-
like it anyway.
like they'll be like sitting in a cop car in the most recent episode we watched, which was the ending of season 1. We finally finished the season 1.
Nice.
But the cops are sitting in the car, and then the guy's like, "Hey there, spending time in this car," and the guy's like, "Every day every day in this car is a treasure with you."
I love
It's
the
like,
one's voice.
yeah. Yeah, like the super deep
Like
voice.
so baritone.
Yeah. It's just a shame that like you can write you write that, but then you're just never allowed to like say it because like
Yeah.
the company's just
Yeah.
like, no, our Christian values. Welcome to political corner. Here we go.
Yeah, it shouldn't be like a.
It shouldn't be a politics thing. It's just people's
Exactly,
lives.
yeah. Not
That's
there
fucked
yet.
up.
We're getting there, but not there yet.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes with
Right,
elections and
yeah,
such, and
yeah. We'll get
who's in
further away.
charge. I will say, speaking of the topic of reboots, first of all, there was a reboot movie that was live action, which I don't want to talk any more about that, but that just strikes me as blasphemy. But also, did you hear about the Powerpuff Girls reboot in the works or whatever?
No.
Oh,
They
that's interesting.
haven't heard.
It caused a big hubbub on the internet when it was first announced, but basically they're making a Powerpuff. So first of all, I hear the reboot of Powerpuff Girls that happened like 3 or 4 years ago, or however long ago it was. I heard
Yeah.
it got awful.
Yeah, they've done reboots. They did one where it was just like they're in school and it's like situational instead of like them being superheroes, and it's like, what? Who's this for?
That's dumb.
Missing
But
the point.
like I get doing superhero stories where like it's kind of like a slice of life for the superheroes because like we've already been so inundated with like Marvel Avengers, like extended universe or cinematic universe. Like just there's so much superhero stuff. It's kind of fun to see like that stuff applied in as like in different directions. Like what if, yeah, like what if Superman has to bake for the Bake Off or whatever the fuck.
Right.
But I feel like Powerpuff Girls doesn't quite have that same level of ubiquity in pop culture, so it doesn't quite work the same in that sense. But the new Powerpuff Girls that they talked about it's going to be, I think it's live action, and it takes place like years later, and it's like the girls are like all disillusioned with their lives because they gave up their child. Like it's basically like they're the Jackson 5. They gave up their childhood for the dream, and now they don't have a childhood, and they're all sad and mad and stuff like that.
Weird. Do they grow up or do they stay kids forever?
I think they grow up.
Okay.
I mean, I in the cartoon, I don't know.
Yeah, I
but,
don't know either what's canon or what's... But...
Yeah, but I believe that is the general plot line of the reboot that they're going to make.
Interesting. The live action thing is a weird choice.
Yeah, like what are you going to do? Like wrap their hands in like weird balls so they don't have
nothing about them looks like anatomically correct for a human, so like either you have to just ignore all the stylistic choices of the original characters, or you make them look hideous.
Yeah. And also, like, if you're gonna do, like, a live-action gritty reboot of the Powerpuff Girls, now you really gotta start explaining why Professor Utonium was making girls in his lab. Like, the way it's set up is he was just trying to make girls in his lab.
Trying to make daughters?
Maybe, but like then what's that about? Like, is he just so like? There's just a lot of questions. Like, why did he decide to? Why was that his first idea, or how desperate was he? Like, I don't know. It just seems weird. There's a lot of weirdness
like
to that backstory.
Father figure.
Yeah, like there's just like a lot going on with that backstory that you can really just brush past since it's a cartoon for kids or whatever, but like as soon as you start like taking it into the gritty world where like it's like super serious and stuff, like now like Professor Utonium's gonna have to be like, well, my girls, I'm barren. I'm impotent. My sperm don't swim. So I had to make you. Your mom's dead, by the way. There's just like, even if you don't go like the creepy route with it, like you still gotta like start saying some like fucked up shit that happened to lead him to the point of.
That just seems like a weird project. I don't know. I'm curious. I don't know. But I wonder if one way they could do a live action is if they did like all those movies like Sonic and all that shit where it's like they're animated and everything else is fit real.
That's fair.
That'd be weird too though, because everything's so stylized. Like all the humans are and everything. So
I'm gonna be mad if I see Miss Bellum's face. Is all I'm saying. Like she better be shot like neck down in that whole movie. I'll go with any other changes, but Miss Bellum cannot. You can't see her face. Is
it a movie that's coming out or another show?
What?
Is it a movie?
I believe it's a show.
Okay, that's what I thought. Weird.
I'm not.
I don't like that. I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll prove me wrong, but it sounds weird. Sounds like something
that was the general reaction of the internet.
I would not ask for by any means.
Yeah, it's also just like, we're so, it's like there's so much reboot and like remake stuff going on. It's just like, come on, like you already said you're gonna bring back Ren and Stimpy, you're gonna bring back Powerpuff Girls, we're bringing back fucking Thundercats, and like
it's a sure thing. They just make their money back and they don't have to risk coming up with new creative content.
Just so
because
annoying.
they can ride off nostalgia, and even if it ends up being something everybody forgets about, they at least make their money back usually.
I look forward to the day when like reboots and remakes start really tanking because everyone's just fed up.
Right.
But who knows? I mean, also they hire a lot of creative and talented people to like head up these
That's true, yeah.
Things.
And not all of them are bad.
Oh, I also forgot. I think the woman who wrote Juno is actually doing the reboot of the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh,
Diablo
weird.
Cody.
She did some weird stuff. She did that one Megan Fox movie where she's like a demon.
Jennifer's Body.
That's the one.
That movie was not good, man. I saw that.
I don't know if I ever saw it.
Not in theaters, but I saw it, man. It fucking sucked. And also going back to Juno, I also didn't like Juno. Like we talked about that
Yeah,
earlier.
you
We
said
kind
that.
of moved on because we talked about different things, but I didn't
You
like
mentioned
Juno.
you said that originally that you didn't like it.
Yeah, it's because like, and I'm not gonna go like. First of all, I mean, it makes sense in the storyline because I'm sure it's a realistic sort of thing that happens. But like, Jason Bateman's character was just so creepy from the get go, and I was just like, in the beginning, I was like, dude, why are you like talking about Sonic Youth to like the 16-year-old girl? And then you find out he's like in love with her, so you're just like, oh, okay, you were creepy on purpose. But like, I don't know, all the dialogue just like they were having all the characters say like these clever, cutesy things like totes my goats, oh my gosh, blobber bobbers, or I mean, I don't know, just all these like weird slang. It's like
They don't
when
talk like real
somebody's
people.
yeah, like they're trying to come up with like all this hip young slang that the cool teenage kids are using, and it's just like, no, teenage kids are not saying any of this. Are you trying to make these slangs a thing? Because that I can understand. Because after the movie came out, now people's kind of no, I don't think people still say totes my goats. I don't know, but it's I don't know. It struck me as a movie that was like really trying hard with like the dumb slang.
It's always
I didn't find it funny.
It's like
Yeah.
a show written about young people by someone who has no idea
Yeah.
how they talk
It-
or act.
I think that mostly just bothers me in general is when
Yeah.
it's like, aren't we cool? Like I get it, you can't write a show for kids. You can't have
It
children
misses
write
the
a show
mark.
for kids. But you also, I feel like you have to. I don't know. I don't know how to best tackle that. To be honest, I don't know
I
how
don't
to
know,
tackle
test
writing
it, crowd test it more than you normally would. And
Yes,
then get
yeah.
people's reactions to be like, but didn't that movie do well though? So,
That movie did great. That movie won awards.
like what, I mean, you're
I don't
outnumbered.
know.
Everybody's out
Yeah, I'm
there saying
outnumbered.
totes my goats about how much they liked that movie, and you're
I think one
back
of the
in
biggest
2000
things.
whatever mad about Juno.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the biggest things that popped off because of that movie was that burger phone she had.
Hamburger
but then,
phone.
like,
I was
cell
just
phones
gonna
happened.
say that, but I didn't know if that was too much of a deep cut.
Oh no,
Hamburger
there's no
phone,
such
yeah,
thing as
so,
too
like-
deep of a cut.
That's, everybody's calling each other saying toast the goats on their hamburger phones, and you're sitting in your room all pissed off. This movie's successful.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so mad. This movie's totes my goats successful and it's pissing me off.
I hate it when things I don't
Oh,
like
I hate
do
it.
well.
If anyone in the chat likes Juno, sound off and let us know. I won't make fun of you. I'll just be like, all right, cool. But if you liked it, let us know. I don't want to like exclude anybody. I'm sure there's plenty of reasons to like the movie. It just didn't hit with me. Although Austin watched the movie and then told me I would really like it, and then I ended up not liking it at all. It was kind of funny. He was like, "What?"
Do you think your opinion would change if you saw it again now?
I'd be willing to give it a shot, honestly. Maybe it's one of those movies that just because like the thing is, I was kind of a dumbass in like high school and college, and I'm still probably a dumbass. So like, but I think I'm a smarter dumbass than I was before. So I think maybe if the movie's like speaking to some deeper level, like basically I'd give Juno another chance. Like I feel like maybe I was just not in an emotional mental place
Could
to
be. Also,
yeah.
at the end of the day, there's 10,000 movies and TV shows. You don't need to necessarily give Juno
Yeah.
another chance. You
Who's
can
got
if you
the
want
time,
to,
man?
but who cares?
I could write an article about revisiting Juno. Who knows? I gotta fucking think about media and TV and movies now through the lens of like, maybe I can write a fucking thing on it.
Totes my goats.
What's my goats? Slang that Juno came up with. Do we use it nowadays? Let's find out.
The article everybody's been waiting to read.
I do know she referred to like all the running boys, like when they're running by and they're in those shorts. She's like pork swords dangling everywhere. She calls their penises pork swords.
It's a weird thing to say.
It's a weird thing to say, and that's part of like the stuff I felt like they were trying really hard to come up with these clever. And I think pork swords might be a slang that has been used in the past, but it's I don't know. I feel weird criticizing it because it's also a movie written by a woman, and I was like a shitty high schooler, so maybe I was just like being a shitty high schooler to like a
It's possible.
primarily like.
So okay, so I did see it. I don't remember a lot about it. I think yeah, that kind of covers what I was saying earlier. It didn't really resonate with me, at least. So
Yeah.
that's kind of yeah. I don't know. I remember certain
Just to read the
details.
just to read the chat real quick. If there was one reboot, Captain Sheepy says, if there was one reboot a lot of people liked enough that I just didn't really care for was maybe the Dexter's Lab reboot. I actually completely agree. I hated that reboot. That was terrible.
Never saw it.
From the early, it was weird. Like, they kept the main vibe. I mean, the art style was a little bit more like the Esurance commercials, where like they don't have like the lines and it's like the sort of lasso tooled, like filled in stuff, cut out looking sort of stuff. But I do remember the reboot of Dexter's Laboratory, and I just remember it not hitting the mark and not being funny or really having the same, just the same wonderment and goodness of the original.
Right.
Bell Rocket says Sonic was the last movie I watched before lockdown, and a ton of theaters closed. And I'm pretty sure that was like the last movie.
Yeah, we almost considered, or we had at least talked about the idea of seeing it when you were in town. Instead, we saw Parasite, which I feel like is a much better choice.
I think so. I think we made a good choice on that one.
I mean, I think Sonic was what, second place for best film of the year.
Yeah.
But
Parasite,
yeah, Parasite
nabbed it. Theaters.
Well, I guess that was the previous year, wasn't it? Whatever.
Like that.
But yeah, I haven't seen it yet. But you said it was fun for what it was.
I enjoyed it. I mean,
I want to watch it.
I think, I mean, if you can find a way to not pay for it, you won't be mad.
Okay. Oh, that's my plan. I'm gonna wait till it comes to some streaming service and then I'll check it out in the future.
Yeah. And Captain Sheepy also says, I saw the beginning of Juno and immediately knew it wasn't for me. And I think that's fair. And I think that's a good time to pull the cord to get out of that movie.
Yeah. And that's what we think about Juno, even though you brought it up a second time. We pulled that ripcord like an hour ago.
We did. We started talking about, we're always meandering, and our conversation is very fluid. So
There's
for
no
instance,
conversation street map that starts and ends on Juno Street.
That's right, Juneau, Alaska. Juno the movie.
That's where that movie takes place, right? I think I'd enjoy it a lot more if it did. It'd just be strange.
I think.
Why is Michael Cera wearing shorts? It's too cold.
I think I would have enjoyed Juno 100% more if every time they said their name, like they're like, "Hey Juno," and then they would turn to the camera and say, "The capital of Alaska, where this movie takes place," and then they just like go right back into like the movie again. I feel like I would have enjoyed that a lot more.
I really wish they would have specified whether they were talking to the character or they were talking about Alaska every time they said Juno, because I was very confused watching it, and I'm like, why do they keep talking about Alaska? It was,
How is Alaska having the baby? I don't get it.
It doesn't make any sense. So that really, I had a hard time being immersed because I was very confused.
Oh, and you want to talk about conversations that we started and then come back to? I did find that Eddie Murphy movie where he's only allowed to say 1,000 words or he's gonna die.
What's it
and
called?
It's called Eddie Murphy's 1,000 Words.
Or I die.
Right?
Called Delirious.
It was bad. I
Is it
remember it
old?
being a very bad movie.
Is it old?
It came out. Yeah, it came out like a while ago. It came out
But I mean, like, is it early career Eddie Murphy or like late career Eddie Murphy? Because he hasn't done
late
much
stage.
until just recently.
I'm talking like post Pluto Nash.
Okay.
This came out 2012.
Okay, so I would call that later, even though it's been out for a while. I'm just like I mean, aside from the fact that he's doing stuff again, it was kind of the end of his career until he returned.
What's he done? He was in something lately, wasn't he? In
a couple things. He did a few Netflix
Dolomite.
things.
Some Dolomite?
Yeah, which I've heard is good. I don't know. I haven't watched it.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, That's cool. If Dolomite is good, that's cool because I feel like that's like a movie that would really suck if like the remake was bad. You know what I mean? I heard the Superfly movie was the remake was terrible. Yeah, I don't know. Glad that movie was good then if it was.
Yeah,
it won an award, I think, right?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you. But yeah, I think he's trying to make a little bit of a comeback, which I'm cool with. I like Eddie Murphy.
I like Eddie Murphy too. It was kind of a bummer to see him kind of disappear. Like after
fizzle out
doing
a
it.
little bit in some ways. Like, I don't know. I feel like he just got some roles that didn't pop off like some of his other stuff, and then it kind of just I think discourages actors sometimes, or maybe he was just wanting to take a break. I've heard people say that he quit kind of because he was kind of raising his kids for a minute. So
that makes sense, and I respect the hell out of that too.
I mean, if you have Eddie Murphy's money, you can totally quit anytime you want and come back anytime you want.
Yeah.
He never has to work another day if he doesn't want to.
And honestly, I would really prefer, like, if, you know, it's not an ideal situation, but I would prefer if you were to instead quit your job and raise your kids instead of being like, I'll just raise my kids while I'm also acting in the same movie as them.
It seems like a good move that makes sense.
It does.
Sounds like a good
or just...
Oh my gosh, Crazy Kyle did Smashed Bomb. I say I was okay with the hand on the face. I was okay with Sunglasses Bomb, but Smash Bomb, I just don't appreciate.
Just like,
it's rude.
That's like when car companies don't want to show damage modeling on their car if they put it in like a racing game because they don't want to show that their car can get damaged. Like that's how I feel about that Smash Bomb right there.
I don't want to see it damaged.
I want to see that bomb blowing up. I don't want to see that bomb frowning. I don't want to see that bomb engaging in illicit activities. I don't want to see that bomb slowly driving into the window of a Payless. Okay, I don't want to see that bomb.
No one wants
jack
to see that.
shit. And then he drew dad. Is that what says dad? Dab. I need to put my glasses on.
It says dab, not dab.
It does say dab.
Goats and goats.
Goats my goats, my broats. Well, looks like we got about 10 minutes left to show.
I don't know if we have enough time for a rock, paper, pencil, unless you want to slip one in. We could.
We could slip one in. I don't like that phrasing, but let's...
I know. Well, I was hoping that we'd move on from it, but then you reiterated it.
I mean, can you blame me? You said it. You put that word into the ether. I feel like we had to address it.
Let's just slip it out and move on.
Ooh. None of this feels right. I feel like if we're gonna slip it in, we gotta like at least stick around for dinner or something. I don't know.
You have dinner after?
Yeah, let's.
That should be a new trend. I'd be all for that. All right, so people, friends in the chat, any suggestions for a rock, paper, pencil?
A real quick one. We can fit.
Okay, friends and schedule. Kyle. My mistake. Kyle wrote friends with a question mark. So I'm excluding him from that group now.
He's excluded from the friends group. Yeah. He's out.
He smashed the bomb.
He smashed that bomb. Oh, he's friends. No, Zach, you're not the one who gets to say.
Well, Superman looks disgusting when they take away his line work.
Oh god, yeah, I don't like that one bit.
Let's get him out of here. Oh, it's getting worse. Alright. It's a close one. That fueled a few nightmares.
What if our rock, paper, pencil was horrifying things that you reveal when you delete the line work?
It seems a little too specific. It's gonna take me 10 minutes just to come up with an idea.
I think so, yeah. Let's do that. We should figure out like some kind of long form rock, paper, pencil where it's like, maybe not, I don't know, but like where it's ideas that might take a little bit longer to germinate and gestate on.
So Kyle,
I don't know.
I hear that. I'm not sure how we do it, but that might be a good idea. Kyle, I see that I don't know if you've noticed, but the emotes appear on the screen now. A new feature. I forgot to mention this, but whatever emotes you do appear on the screen, so, you know. I'm just encouraging people to spam the chat, I guess. I don't know.
Spam the chat. Bell Rocket asks, what is the game? So I guess we should explain, and since she subbed, I feel like we should do an episode just to thank her. Oh, there it goes again. I see the little happy brain bouncing around.
Is that what it is? It's a brain?
I think so. I mean, I have no idea.
First I thought it was a piece of bread, but now I'm thinking it looks like it has ears on top. It might be like a...
I thought it was a monkey at first, to be honest, but I'm thinking
It's
it's a brain
cropped,
because
so we don't know exactly what we're looking at.
there's not enough real estate in that emoticon for us to really get to the bottom of it. I don't even. What is Captain? What is that?
Oh, it's a bird. It's a bird.
Oh, it is a bird. I saw it the first time and I was like, is that like Pac-Man freaking out? Like, it's a bird. It's a very cute bird, actually.
Okay, so Balboa Rocket, the game is basically we're given a theme that's somewhat not too specific, and then we both draw it. We're not able to see what the other person is drawing, and then at the end we reveal it, and on Twitter we have the viewers vote for their favorite. And that's that.
That's the thing.
That's the game.
So, I mean, we could do. I mean, I feel like we should do rock paper pencil since Balbo Rocket did subscribe. I feel like we should, you know.
I'm all for it. I'm in no rush to get out of here.
All right, cool. I mean, I'm not doing it. I'm probably gonna go to sleep right after this because I've been so sleepy today. I don't know why.
You have to stay up till 4 a.m. doing DrawBomb after hours.
Oh god, that is what has ruined my sleep schedule. Is DrawBomb after hours. Holy shit! I tried to go to sleep at 12 o'clock last night, and I ended up going to sleep at 5 after trying, like laying my head down and then with my eyes closed for like 30 minutes, and then waking up being like, okay, I guess I'll play more Wander Song.
I like that you like 30 minutes and then you gave up. Like,
well, 30 minutes of your eyes closed is a long time to make no progress. I feel like you go to sleep and it's like maybe 10 minutes max that like you have to like sit there before you finally like drift off. But like I feel like after 30 minutes you gotta throw in the towel. You're awake, bro.
You're not sleeping that night. Game
over.
over.
Not right now.
Fair enough.
Belbo Rocket says birds. You could jump off of that. What if it was?
Let's give us some description for some vague like. Maybe like an adjective to go with birds.
Yeah, like
something, a type of bird, but not too specific.
Simpsons characters as birds, something like that. But I don't think that would actually
work for this.
Yeah, that's really specific.
Birds.
What if? Okay, it's Labor Day.
True.
What if it's random. I feel like we actually may have already done this one, but it's like, you know how like they had the animals doing like the weird jobs for the Flintstones?
Yeah.
It's a living. What if we did like the weirdest version of those that we can think of? That doesn't involve crapping into a bird's mouth for a toilet.
Because we'll be scrubbed from Twitch in seconds.
We will be scrubbed from Twitch, and also I've just seen that one before. That's not new.
Yeah, the toilet is the obvious go-to. All right.
I think that's actually a joke in Family Guy. He goes like,
I'm sure.
You got a crap job.
I'm sure. All right. To anybody new in the chat, thanks for tuning in. Hit the subscribe button if you are so inclined. At least follow us, you know, or else you're gonna miss out on this quality entertainment. Boy, oh boy. All right, I'm gonna hide your layers.
Yeah, I'll hide your layers too while I get to the bottom of this. It's a living. Okay, we're going with that one?
I think so.
Alright, that works for me.
I don't know what I'm gonna draw yet, but I'm gonna figure that out.
Yeah, I have no idea. Bell, bell, rocket, bell, bell, rocket, wah.
I'm gonna end up accidentally drawing one that actually was in Flintstones.
Yeah, I would try and so try and make it weird. Too weird for the Simpsons to or Simpsons for the Flintstones. For the Flimsons, Simpstones.
The Simp Dogs.
Simp Dogs.
Alright, let's see. This is the exciting part where we just stare off into the void trying to come up with an idea.
Yeah.
Both sleep deprived.
If you want the real artist experience, this is it. Where you're just like,
oh, shit, I have fucking
What?
deadlines.
yeah, right. Like, oh, I have to think of something to draw within the next hour so I can spend the next 8 hours drawing it. That's the life of an artist. No, I'm not allowed to draw that. I see you getting started.
The characters using this stuff have to be like cavemen? Can we just do people using...
Sure.
Or should they be cavemen?
I think it'd actually be kind of a funny...
It would make more sense for the thing.
Well, I think it'd be a funny juxtaposition if it was like we were doing the Simpsons type inventions, but with modern day people.
Flintstones. You said Simpsons.
Yeah, I'm gonna draw the Simpsons doing it, man.
Do it, yeah. Feel free.
So I see you're getting started.
Yeah.
Great. Alright, I got it. It's dumb, but I'm gonna do it.
Oh, mine's very dumb.
I think they're almost always dumb ideas.
Yeah, that's kind of the one through line.
I'm also not gonna look up Bart Simpson.
Oh, because you are doing Simpsons.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna talk, since I feel like you know we're gonna be busy drawing and stuff like that. I'm just gonna start talking about this Eddie Murphy movie I saw this one time.
This is the one where you can only talk so much?
Yeah, so Eddie Murphy is like an advice guru, or he's rich, he's something, he's famous, he's got a big house, he's got a big life, whatever the hell. His kids are miserable, his wife hates him, he hates everybody, he's rich. I feel like maybe like if he was involved in the script writing process in any way, that might be a little like a parallel to his life at the time, who knows. I'm also pretty sure this movie was a little racist, but I'll get to that. So not against Eddie Murphy, but more so against like Hindu people, things like that.
Okay.
So Eddie Murphy, you know, he's rich, famous. I think he's a publicist. Don't take my word. I'm going purely off memery for this, by the way.
Yeah,
so if I am,
that's the disclaimer in the beginning. This is based off what you can recall.
This is what I can recall. This is the moment in the podcast. Usually it happens once an episode where I just describe a fucking shitty movie I've seen and I complain about it. Well, I also don't remember any of it.
Review corner.
Yeah, Ian's movie review corner. Nobody puts baby in the corner except for Ian when he talked about a movie review corner. So he hates his life. He's super rich. People are all, he like goes to a place and people are just like, oh my god, it's Eddie Murphy's character. Oh my gosh, sign my kid. So he's supposed to meet up with this guru, I'm pretty sure. I don't think they say like a lifestyle coach or whatever, but he's like a guru. He's like from India. He wears like the robes. And the guy's like, I'm pretty sure this happens. And then the guy's just like, hey man, you hate your life and you talk all the time. And Eddie Murphy's like, yeah, I talk all the time. It's great. He's doing like the Eddie Murphy fast talking all the time. Yeah. That, you know, the shit that made him famous. And so he goes to meet this guy, and then I'm pretty sure he's just a total jerk to this guy. And so the guy's like, you should shut the fuck up. And then there's this tree that grows, like he like hits, I'm pretty sure he hits Eddie Murphy in the forehead with his hand, and that like either knocks him out or just puts him in a weird funk. But somehow Eddie Murphy like doesn't come away completely awake from that meeting or something like that. And so then, all of a sudden, he wakes up the next morning, and there's a fucking tree growing in his backyard, like a fully formed tree. And so then, like, he finds out, I don't think he finds out right away, but, like, when he goes out to see the tree, he's like, what the? And then, like, some leaves fall off the tree. And then and then he starts to say more stuff, and as he says stuff, the leaves fall off the tree. So he wastes, like, a bunch of the words in the beginning because he doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then he eventually calls this guru, and this guru's like, hey man, like, if you say 1,000 words, there's 1,000 leaves on that tree. If you say the 1,000 words, you're gonna die. And so that he has to, like, learn how to, like, take his kid to school and, like, raise his kid, be with his wife, while saying, like, very little.
Right.
I don't remember too much about this movie. It was a very long time ago.
And then he learns about himself and how to be a better person.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you really, like, the beats are all pretty, you know, standard shit that you would see in any movie like this. He, like, feels better by the end of it. He's like his wife loves him. His kids are like, Daddy, you're so cool and nice to us now. I'm trying to remember if his wife enjoys the fact that he talks less. I feel like there's a scene where she's just talking and he can't speak, and she's just like, you're so good at listening. Or she hates him because he won't talk anymore. It's one or the other, but I'm almost certain it's the first. What was that?
It could go either way.
It could go either way, because really it doesn't matter. None of it matters. It was such an inconsequential movie. It was really bad. I mean, and, like, I'm trying to remember how he even, like, solves it, because I'm pretty sure at the end of the movie he's got, like, 3 leaves left in his tree or whatever, and then he's like, can you, like, take this tree down, guru guy? And then the guru guy's like, you've learned plenty, the curse is off or whatever. Or he finds out that the curse was never even real in the first place, and it was all just, like, some fucked up shit. I don't remember, but then the movie ends and he's, like, successfuler than he was before, and he's happy. It's like, you get it.
He learns a lesson.
He learns his lesson.
Crazy Kyle says 1,000 Words has a 0% critic review on Rotten Tomatoes.
Not surprised.
And 47% audience, but the critic review part is funny.
That is very funny. I feel like first of all, the movie was very not funny. And I feel like also, like, it was 2012 and, like, we were still making movies like that. Like, come on, like.
They have to still be doing that now, right?
I feel like it probably. I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't. I just feel like by 2012 we knew that shit was, like, hackneyed and, like, a paint by numbers movie plot, you know?
I mean, it got reviewed poorly, so.
Yeah. So that's the movie corner. Nobody puts baby in the corner. That's the catchphrase for the movie corner.
Would you recommend this movie? Should people
No.
go see it? What?
Not unless you want to get, like, drunk and, like, shit on a movie that you don't have to care
there's
about.
Bad movies that are fun to watch, and then there's bad movies that are just terrible to watch.
Yeah. Some movies. Some bad movies are fun. You're just like, what the fuck? How did this ever get made? Which I think there's a whole podcast about that. I don't know what it's called.
It's called How Did This Get Made?
I know.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, not bad.
That's okay. I mean, honestly, if you hadn't said it, somebody would have been like, "What's the name of that podcast?" And I would have been like, "It's the words I just said."
Right.
But yeah, like some bad movies are a lot of fun, and some are just not at all. That's the corner.
That was a brave stance to take, but I have to agree. How's your idea coming along?
I mean, the drawing sucks, and the idea is terrible. But that's what you get when you sign up for rock, paper, pencil.
Kyle says, but Ian, can you tell me about Juno?
I did already. I like kind of described that whole movie a little bit.
You did. You got into it. There's been a lot of movie discussion this episode.
It has been. It's on my mind. What can I say?
What's the last movie you saw?
Last movie I saw. Men in Black International.
And?
I mean, the first 30 minutes were pretty garbage. The rest of it was merely okay.
Okay.
Kind of. By the end of it, I kind of didn't see a point in why we watched it in the first place because
that's kind of why I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's like I get it. Men in Black itself is kind of an interesting concept, but you find out by the end of Men in Black International that like one thing that really held Men in Black together was the camaraderie between Agent J and Agent K.
Yeah.
And without them, it just kind of feels like a dumb movie.
Cameos?
They did not make cameos at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised by that, but you know.
Yeah, I was a little bit too.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna see that one. I just don't see a need.
It's not worth it. I mean, one thing that really made me like, so my family and I sat down. We were just like, we didn't do them all in one day, but we were like, we're gonna do a Men in Black movie marathon, where like we usually have like family TV time,
Right.
and when we sit down for family TV time, we're gonna watch a Men in Black movie each time. We did Men in Black 1, Men in Black 2. Men in Black 1 still holds up. Men in Black 2, I didn't like it even when I watched it as a kid, and I didn't like it much now.
Yeah.
And then like, so in order to watch these movies on Hulu, I had to sign up for the free Stars subscription. Like they're like, you can watch these movies if you have Stars. Do you want to do a 7-day trial? And I'm like, sure, as long as I don't pay for it. So I like canceled it before it started charging me any money.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got to Men in Black 3, and Men in Black 3 you don't get on Stars. Like Men in Black 1, 2, and International are on Stars, and for no reason 3 is on something else that like there's too many streaming services because of this shit. Like I can't
They're all
watch.
Owned by different people have licenses to different stuff. You should at least have like the trip, like whatever, all the movies.
Right? If you got 3 out of 4, like I don't know. I feel like that's like a big exemplary.
Maybe they just didn't expect anybody to do what you and your family did.
Probably not. Honestly.
Nobody will subject themselves to all the Men in Black films.
Least
They'll
of all,
be more down, but they'll get more down by the time we get to 3.
Right. I mean, like I said, 1 still holds up, so that one's fine.
Yeah, 1's good.
Another weird thing about International is that Chris Hemsworth is like one of the main characters in it, and he is terrible at acting in that movie. Maybe in general, I don't know. Maybe I've only ever seen him in Cabin in the Woods as Thor, and then in this movie. So maybe he just sucks at acting in general.
Yeah, I guess I don't have that much of a sample size. It's true.
Yeah.
He's popular because he has some popular roles, but I'm not sure. I haven't seen enough examples.
I feel like you don't have to act to be Thor,
right?
Because he's like such a fish out of water
like
that if he acts strange, it just kind of works.
Right. My thoughts as well. And then like Cabin in the Woods is kind of intentionally cheesy in a lot of ways, so that also doesn't quite give a clear example. I don't know.
Like
he might just be bad.
He might just be bad at acting. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, also that movie was not good again. So a lot of times, like, for instance, a lot of people give Hayden Christensen shit for being a terrible actor as Anakin Skywalker. But honestly, like, no one in those movies was good at acting because those scripts were fucking garbage.
Right. It's hard to act good in a bad movie.
Yeah. So like, maybe Hayden Christensen. I mean, he was also in Jumper, and that movie also sucked. But I mean, who knows?
I like the part where Samuel L. Jackson's like, quit jumping, motherfucker. I don't know. I've never seen it.
That's actually 2 movies that starred both Hayden Christensen and Sam Jackson, though. It's kind of interesting. And I think that's actually 2 movies where Hayden Christensen kills Samuel Jackson.
Oh, spoiler alert for Jumper. Jesus
I know,
Christ.
I'm sorry, guys. Sorry to spoil, it's 2006's Jumper.
I'm supposed to go watch Jumper tonight. Now I'm gonna have to pretend like I don't know what happens? Jesus.
My favorite part of Jumper is when they sang Jumper by B&L. Is that B&L?
No, I don't think. Is it? Oh, no, it's not. It's not.
Third Eye Blind?
Third Eye Blind, I think.
Okay. Kyle says, I liked Jumper when I was younger. Lol. Well.
And he still likes it today.
That's strange, dude. I'm gonna read it. There's actually been a couple of comments I missed. He says, but Ian, can you... Oh yeah, you read that one. He says, did either of you see the new Bill and Ted? Is it worth seeing? I'm a huge fan of the old ones. None of us have seen it, Kyle, but we have heard that it's a good one.
Yeah, it's been getting decently reviewed. And I just watched the original 2 to get like ready because I wanted to see if they make sure they hold up and stuff. And I enjoyed them. And nostalgia is a big part of that as well, but they're good. They're fun. So yeah, I'll probably watch it soon.
I'll probably watch it. What's it on? Is it on?
I don't think it's on anything yet because it's just got released in theaters, but they also did a digital release. So you probably like, if you're getting it legal means, it's gonna be like $20. Where we, you know.
Sure, but what's it digitally? Like, you have to like go to.
Probably on like Apple and like Prime would be my guess. Those
Okay.
two. I don't know. I'll have to watch it soon though.
Yeah. And Captain Sheepy says Netflix has Evil Dead 1, but it doesn't have Part 2 nor Army of Darkness. And yeah, it's just that's more of the problem. Like what?
I was just actually just last night I was out visiting a friend and we were looking through movies on some streaming stuff, talking about them, and we got talking about Evil Dead. They have them all on Prime. They don't have.
They do have
them
them all.
Netflix.
Interesting. I've seen Evil Dead 1, and I think I've seen Army of Darkness. I just don't think I've ever seen Evil Dead 2. I've never seen
watch
like
it.
Dead Before Dawn.
It's good. I like it. Anyways.
I hear it's good. I hear it's like the preferred Evil Dead.
Yeah, it's kind of like a reboot of the original, but it's way more like silly.
Goofy.
They
Yeah.
start to enter comedy into it, and then by the time they get to Army of Darkness, it's just full on a comedy movie.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Army of Darkness though. I had a lot of fun with that one. That's
And
just a
then,
fun
if
romp.
you get around to it, you said you have Stars. Is that right?
No, not anymore.
Oh.
I mean, it was a 7-day trial that we used to watch Men in
It's
Black.
on
like a
Netflix. It
month
might
ago.
still be on there. You should watch Ash vs. Evil if you're a fan of the series, because it's like they did a really good job of just picking up where they left off. Everything it feels the same, even though it came out like a decade or more after.
I have heard
Source
good things
material.
about Ash vs. Evil.
I recommend it. It's
I
fun.
think it's on Hulu, maybe. I'm not sure.
Either way, find it and let me know what you think. I enjoyed it.
Check it out with Dr. Steve Brule.
I'm also a pretty big like Evil Dead fan, so I might be a little biased, but I enjoyed it. And supposedly, I mean, Bruce Campbell said this in the past, but supposedly he's done with the character after this. He said that like 4 times. He keeps coming back. But it's a good send off to the character. I felt like it kind of fits the rest of the series, the way they end his character.
That's cool. I like that. I've heard good things about it, and I did hear that it had gotten canceled, but they got a chance to do like a actual ending, which is always nice. I hate when a show gets canceled and they just have no idea, and they're just kind of like...
And it just like feels like a unfinished thing.
Like, I actually just found out, apparently everyone just found out that Venture Brothers got canceled.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Damn.
They were in the middle of writing their 8th season, and then they got the word that it's no longer.
That's weird.
Yeah, I know, it's strange.
Man, shucks, that's a shame.
That is a bummer. But yeah, it's fucking stupid when you have like all your shows spread across 8, and also like some platforms like, okay, I've complained about this before, and I'll complain about it to my dying day until they fix it. But you cannot watch the Kroll Show on anything. The only way you can access that show, which is such a great show, it's one of my favorites, is you have to go to comedycentral.com and then put in your cable provider info.
Yeah, there's other shows like that. Reno 911 is another one that I think that's the only way you can watch it. And
Reno 911 in its entirety used to be on Netflix too.
I don't believe it is anymore.
It's not.
Everything changes hands all the time, so it's also hard to keep track of where stuff is. I usually just Google it, and then you can click right underneath, and it will show all the different streaming services that have it currently. But
yeah, and it's always like never the one you have.
yeah. But yeah, I've been craving some Reno 911.
I think they brought Reno 911 back for Quibi.
That's probably who has it now, or something like that.
I mean, no, but like Quibi gets like the new episodes.
Oh, there's new. Oh yeah, I did hear that, didn't I?
Yeah, which is also like I'm not gonna do Quibi.
No.
Just because like.
Well, I don't think I'm ever gonna get a streaming service for one show.
Yeah. And everything else I've seen about Quibi, I've been like, I don't want to watch any of that. They're trying though. They're like really trying to like.
You gotta start somewhere, I suppose. But like I said, I'll have to have a bit more of a backlog before I get into it.
Yeah. Also, I think Quibi. I mean, again, I don't know anything about Quibi, but I think Quibi is like the shows are shot profile because you're supposed to watch it on your phone. Like it's specifically
Weird.
made to be watched on your phone. So I think I've heard that a lot of the shows on it are like
Cropped.
profile instead of landscape. You know.
Huh. I'm not sure that's a selling point for me.
It's a anti-selling point.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't confirm. You know what? I'll Google it because I don't want to be saying bullshit. Is
They gotta have both options, right? It seems really
Quibi's
bizarre.
most unique and interesting feature is that it makes use of the handheld device's rotating screen, allowing viewers to watch. Okay, so I guess you can just watch the film. Each show is framed and edited both ways.
Bizarre. It seems like a lot of extra work for somebody at that network.
I was gonna say, I feel bad for the people who have to put that together then.
Go through this entire season and find a way to crop this without cutting out important information. Do your best.
That sounds like just double the work for no reason.
Right.
At
Just
least
so
it's an
somebody
option,
doesn't
I
have
guess.
to turn their phone? But wouldn't you
So
want
I'm
to watch
watch-
it horizontal? Like it's... You see
Why would you
more?
want to watch a profile?
I don't know. I don't know. That's really weird.
I'm watching these examples, and like, so the one example
Sold
gift
on
they
it,
show is like a woman running in a scene in a movie, and like they put it landscape, and then like it shows her, and then the person turns it landscape, and then it zooms in on her face reaction shot or whatever. I don't know.
No thanks.
Yeah, it just
Stuff should be watched the way it was filmed, right? Isn't that the whole point? Somebody making a show
not
with,
even
like, a
as
cameraman
like a
and
pure.
picking out your shots and all your...
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like I feel like now you have to
not
now
getting
you
the
have
full
to
product.
make your shows dumbed down more so that you can make it so that you can like crop in.
This
I don't
isn't
know.
coming from like a purist thing. I'm just like, it's like if they're like, now we made, I don't know, I'm trying to think of some stupid example.
I would actually rather they shot the entire show in profile portrait
yeah,
view
well that's fine.
rather than like do both and
Editing
do like
doesn't make sense. Editing stuff
Yeah.
down.
like I was shitting on the one idea at first, and now I like that I hear what the actual thing is. I'm like, no, go back to the first terrible idea that I thought it was.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a weird idea. I don't know who was like, this is what people want. Nobody asked for it, but it's gonna sell.
It seems questionable. I mean, really, it just seems like double the work for whoever poor sucker has to like make
Yeah.
them.
I am done whenever you are.
I am doing very rudimentary colors.
Yeah, you're good. No rush.
Yeah, it's not going to be good. But I mean, I've said that already a couple times. Quibi.
This episode is sponsored by Quibi.
I'm gonna get fired from my new gig because I shit talk Quibi.
A lot of features. Why? No, I don't know. Quibi.
Quibi.
Oh,
Did you just undo?
I didn't do it. I don't know why I did that.
Oh no. I almost zoomed in and saw your thing, but I didn't.
It's okay. The viewers got a little peek. Little peeky pie. I don't know why that happened,
Well,
but it did.
That was so weird. Yeah, some parts of DrawPile are a little funky. Okay, I think it has to do with undos.
I didn't undo anything.
I may have undid something. I'm not
Uh-huh.
sure. I don't think I did actually. Not. Sometimes this program's.
Only God
freaks
knows
out.
what happened.
Yeah. Sometimes this program freaks a little bit. Sometimes this program has a bad interaction with my pen tablet device.
Sometimes.
Sometimes this program.
Kyle, what's your favorite part of Jumper?
What were you saying?
I was asking Kyle what his favorite part of Jumper was.
Yeah, tell us. Was it the part where he stepped back from that ledge, my friend? Because I wish he would.
I was trying to think of more lyrics. Something about, it doesn't matter.
Lies you've been living in.
Yeah, that's the other part I remember.
Relax. How's it go? I wish you was to back from that ledge.
I would
my friend.
understand understand.
I would understand. Little some kid, a little bit insane. You're gonna crowd.
Hey, you do know the whole thing. What do you know?
It used to make my ex-girlfriend like really mad when I'd like sing a song like that, where I was like, I don't know the words, but I know how the song goes.
But the secret
so
is everybody sings songs like that.
that was the thing. I was like, but that's like, I don't think anyone hears a song and knows all the lyrics right.
A lot of people don't even know they're doing it.
Yeah.
And then like they go to sing a song and they're like, there's big chunks missing. They're like, oh, I thought I knew all the words because I'd been filling it in with my like mumbling.
Yeah. She'd be like, but the words are like the song, and I'd be like, well, there's like a lot to this.
I don't really memorize music when I listen to it. Some people do. Some people like the more that they listen, they just like know all the words. It's not really me.
I went to a party with this girl, and I mean we weren't dating or anything like that. It was just her Halloween party. But like the one dude at the party, straight up like, at one point we were all drunk and high enough that we were just like putting random songs on the TV and like karaokeing them without a karaoke machine or whatever.
As one does.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to do that. So like, but this guy knew all of the words to every song that got put up on that screen, and I was just like, what the fuck, man? Like, do you have like what? Did you study song lyrics in college? Like, how do you know these words all perfectly? Like, how do you know all the words to all TLC?
It takes
songs?
a lot of practice, which is the weird part. It's like, why are you spending so much time on this?
Yeah, like I kind of like I get it if you want to like, I don't know, like if you like the song enough, I get it.
Yeah.
But like when it's like so many songs, like you have to be like cultivating. I mean, I don't want to judge him because like
Right.
All those words. It just struck me as like excessive almost.
I'm just noticing. I think you can see McDonald's in my camera. So this episode is sponsored by McDonald's.
But not really, because I think we'd get sued.
No,
if
okay, they
McDonald's
block
ever
it.
found out.
Here we go. Now no one knows. What
The
restaurant's
Whopper
back there?
brought to you by. Wait, is that Burger King?
Not that I'm eating McDonald's. I'm saying you can legit see a McDonald's establishment right here.
Oh, I see. Through your window?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if you can see the sign or not. It looks like you can, but probably can't make that. Yeah, you can.
I have the video paused, but I'm looking at the preview of like before I paused it, and that's hilarious. Yeah.
I would go over there and shut the window, but I don't have legs.
That's right, you don't have legs. We've established that in the last episode. Check the memes, everybody. We got memes in the Discord now. If you want to fucking up the meme game for your very obscure Twitch show that you all know and love. I wish you would order me some fries, my friend. Realize all the fries that you'll be giving me. And if you never want to see Chuck E. Cheese again, I would understand. Yeah.
Oh, the sponsorship is working. Everybody in the chat is talking about McDonald's now. They're gonna go get some. You're singing a song about fries. It's really
That's
just
my brain's
spreading.
meow. Spreading like mayo over that delicious McDonald's burger bun. I have a question actually. Do you like to have mayo, a thin layer of mayo on your burger bun?
I do.
I do too, actually. I mean, I don't.
I'll say it. It might not be a popular opinion, but you know what? I do.
It's not a popular. It's a very unpopular opinion.
Is it?
So.
Oh, wow.
No, I actually think a lot of people like. I don't like mayo in general, but I don't mind it on my burger.
Mayo is one of those
it's
foods
like
that I'm like, I'm aware this is gross, but I like it.
All right, I think I have finished my rock paper pencil. But yeah, as long as it's like not excessive, I can do mayo on my, like a thin layer of mayo spread on the top bun of my burger.
I like to
Otherwise,
take a
get
burger-
that fucking shit away from
I
me.
like to take a burger and scoop it into a giant bowl of mayo, so that there's more mayo than burger.
Ugh.
It's not true, but the visual is fun, right? All right, I'm gonna reveal your drawing.
I'm gonna reveal yours. Actually, it's already revealed. Shit. Okay. Well, there it is. But I like it.
We both went with the theme birds still.
Oh yeah, I feel like we had to do Bell
Yeah.
Bell Rocket that one.
There it is, folks.
That's our.
The masterpiece.
It's a living.
It's a little. What is the duck shooting out of his
Bullets.
butt? Okay. Do you have to feed the duck bullets, or is it just a special kind of duck?
I hadn't thought about that.
Okay. I assumed you had, and I was just putting you on the spot.
Yeah, I actually, for some reason, that is not something I had considered when I was doing that whole drawing.
Well, maybe the duck swallowed a gun.
That's probably the duck is the gun, so maybe the bullet. So you know how like birds sometimes have that gizzard where they like take rocks,
Yes, I'm familiar.
eat berries, and then the rocks in the gizzard smash the rocks up, and that is basically how they chew
Is that accurate what you just said? I think you're thinking. I know cows have something like that, but I'm not sure that's what a gizzard in a bird is.
I'm
We need to
looking it
Google
up.
this immediately. I know. Because you can eat a gizzard.
I'm looking it up. Whoa! If you look up gizzard on Wikipedia, you will get the gizzard of a chicken as the main picture, and it's kind of gross.
Is
looking.
it?
Okay, this specialized stomach constructed of thick muscular walls is used for grinding up food, often aided by particles of stone or grit. And
There it is,
certain
folks.
insect mollusks, the gizzard features
I did not
chitinous.
do my bird research before this episode, and I'm thoroughly embarrassed.
Didn't know enough about birds like I do, bro.
I feel like an
So
idiot.
yeah,
I-
the bird eats a bunch of bullets. It stores it in its gizzard. That's what it uses to eat. And then Bart Simpson, when he uses it as a gun, pow, 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 gizzard bullets or bullet gizzard. That's the name of the new FPS I'm working on.
Bell Bell Rocket says, "What happens to the rocks after, though? I'm assuming they return to the Earth after
Yeah.
the bird leaves its mortal coil."
Or the bird can just be like, and then like spit it out.
Oh, I can eject them when it's done.
Shit bricks.
Shit
They might
bricks.
shit little
There you
bricks.
go. I like that answer.
Yeah.
It's 11.
It's all.
That's the
It's
noise
all
of
living.
bricks.
Pew, 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 pew.
All right. Well, on that note, I think it's time.
Wait, I got one more joke before we
Okay,
sign
great. I was hoping you would.
If you have a chicken gun in this weird universe I have constructed with bullet gizzards, then the chicken is a buckshot.
Because that's the noise chickens make.
Yep, buck. Anyways, okay. Goodbye, everybody. Oh my god. You want to plug anything, Brandon?
Not anymore. I've kind of lost all hope after that last joke.
I feel like
No,
I'm
I
losing a little
don't
bit.
really have anything to plug right now. Subscribe or follow us, and that way
Follow.
you can see when we play games throughout the week, as well as our show every Monday, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Come watch, come support us emotionally, and
Please.
through the show as well.
Be my therapy dog, everybody. Yeah, tune in every Monday, 8 o'clock. I can't plug the website I'm gonna be writing for yet, but when I got articles up on there, I'll actually have a thing to plug. I guess kind of weird. Eat your veggies.
Yes.
Kyle, stay away from the glutens.
I don't think. Oh, okay, yeah. It was Kyle. It's a celiac. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, you can just order the fillings and eat a pile of slop.
That's true.
It's kind of similar to the normal experience when you get
I
McDonald's.
like to think so.
All right. On that note,
Okay.
Playing us out.
Bye. Ba ba boo ba boo ba 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 boo ba 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 ba. I changed my tempo a little bit there.
You're doing pretty good.
Oh shit!
I don't know if you can
Ruined it.
Way too soon. Ian can't hear the song, and so he tries to sing along with it, not being able to hear it while I play it. We realized recently, because we've been trying this for many weeks. Ian, like, we got off the air and Ian goes, "Oh shit, no one knows I can't hear it. They must think I'm like a crazy person trying to like sing along, and me being like, oh, almost got it." Like, this man has no rhythm, zero rhythm. Can't
just
sing
completely
along with the song.
tone deaf. When I hear the song, it's just like a flat, like noise.
Kyle says that fits your character.
Yeah, that it does a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm the wacky one.
You have musical talent. All of our whole DrawBomb soundtrack is created by you.
That's right. I did all those songs you hear, and I don't like all of them, but I do want to redo those when I get my
Well,
computer.
if there's any you want me to take out of the cycle, today we had a whole bunch more songs than usual because I added a bunch more in that you sent me. But yeah,
They're also mine.
Yeah, all Ian's. So there you go.
Yepers. Thanks for subbing, Bell Rocket. Thanks
Yes.
everyone for joining in. Captain Sheepy, Crazy Kyle, thank you so much for joining in again. Z Newts, thanks for popping in. I think that's actually everybody. We had 6 people viewing at one point, and then
Yes,
they
we
went
did.
away. So we scared them off by talking about Eddie Murphy, I think.
Everybody just didn't like that movie. So
It was not a good movie. It was so bad.
cool. So Ian wants to plug whatever. that
1,000 Words by Eddie
1,000
Murphy.
words. Go see it. Go buy it on Blu-ray.
Pay money for it, why don't you? If it's on Amazon Prime, pay the $4 to
Rent
rent
for
it.
the high definition version. It's like extra, but it's worth it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Get this.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.